get his team on the lead.
And up ahead to Siva. And the attack by Harrell. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, Louisville comes from 12 down to take the lead. It's first of the night. 8 seconds to go in the half. Albrecht driving in. Gives it up. And a push foul called on Louisville with 2.5 seconds to go in the half. It's called on Blackshear.
A blitzkrieg by the Cardinals, and this is the tail end of it. Montrezl Harrell wrecking that rim. Beautiful pass by Siva off a turnover. And boy, it didn't take long, guys.
Jalen.
Oh, no. Hey, Cole, how you doing? How retirement treating you?
It's great, man. It's great. Just, you know, a little writing, a little investing.
Nice. So I don't know if you saw the thing on Twitter about your statue.
You know, I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, I figured that. Me either.
A drink, Mr. Bryant?
Yeah, I'll have a vodka martini.
How many olives would you like?
81.
Really?
Nah, man, I'm just playing. Just 2. Joke for him. He gets it.
Samuel came close to a game-ending interception. Well, that's about as demonstrative as you're going to see Eli Manning. Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet. Airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree. Inside the 25 and a timeout taken.
James, please don't do this.
I just had the best year of my career. I gotta keep things fresh.
Well, then let's just go to Foot Locker. They got all the fresh new gear.
But I have real talent.
Can I get playback?
Okay.
I wear my shirt open so you see my chest, girl. I work so hard into.
Is that me? Popcorn world.
Popcorn world. Yeah.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in the back of a can. You can make it round the world when the holes in your hand. Popcorn world. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world.
You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, C Major. At power forward, Al B. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five. Ready to rock and roll tonight. I'd be lying if I said anything other than this is probably going to be a pretty explosive show. I wish I could put the jokes on it. I can't. There are no jokes to be had here tonight. I don't know. I even fixed tea instead of coffee. That's how serious this show is tonight.
I wish I could say the same, but I can't.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to our special guest six man coming in hot off the bench. Our guy Jesse Wright. What's up, man?
What's good, Jesse? What's good, man?
What's up, man?
Good to see you tonight, man. Good to see you tonight, joining the Brothers of the Five. We didn't come on. This is not the show we planned. I'm just gonna start with that. When we got together, we said, "Man, let's talk about the AFC and the NFC championship," and it was good. And man, all the mistakes and da 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 da. And if we had some time, we'll talk about the coaches. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? And leave it to my beloved New York Giants to be the reason and the cause for it all. So
always missing something up.
Hey, but I tell you what, before we get into this, let's don't forget the positive thing that happened today. There's a lot of men that signed scholarships today. So
yeah.
Shout out to them. You know, hey, sometimes a lot of stuff can overshadow the great things that happen today. A lot of parents have gotten their kids' education paid for free today. So let's give some shout out to that today.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Reggie. That's what we should be on here breaking news on. We should be talking about all the amazingness that took place, and
why we can't overshadow that. You know, we can't let the negative in this world continue to overshadow it. You know, we still got to get a shout out to the positive.
Yeah,
hey man, y'all know how I think.
Thank you, Reggie.
Like Caleb Williams going to USC, huh? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Travis Hunter.
I didn't say transfer. I said high school, college signees, and
I gotta watch you, Reggie. You sneaky. I gotta watch you, man.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm kind of happy today, and I give a shout out at the end of the show because I had a few kids that I coached in high school that signed. I mean, coach AAU that signed some football scholarships.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's
nice.
great.
So hey,
Nice.
I went to their signings today. So man, you know, I feel like old proud papa right now. So,
oh man, that's awesome, bro. That's really awesome.
Awesome.
But listen, I wish that's where we could start. I really do, but obviously, time and everything won't let us. So here it is. My Giants, the Broncos, the Dolphins, and the rest of the NFL is all getting sued because people are stupid. Now the official reasoning is because of hiring practices and firing practices, but they're just stupid.
Janky New York Giants organization.
Well, but see, that's where, Chad, this is where you are the misinformed. It wasn't as simple as the Giants organization. So I promised the people some behind the scenes. Let's take you behind the scenes. Because I had to understand this myself. When he said the Giants gave him a sham interview, I said, man, that flies in the face of everything that I've heard. I don't understand. And so then we started digging a little deeper as we do on the 5, and we realized it was the Giants. The organization's got to own it, but it wasn't the organization's fault. But it was the organization's fault, and that's why I said it being stupid. So here's how it unfolded for the Giants. Now the rest of this, we've dug deeper, and we're gonna, I can't understand all that. But here's how I played. So prior to hiring their GM, Mr. Marr, Mr. Tisch, the owners of the Giants, had a conversation, and they said we got to do things different. We got to shake things up. Let's be innovative. Let's be modern. Let's do some things different. Who you like out there, Jim? Oh man, John, I really like that Flores guy. I do too. Let's call him. They called him. Hey man, we really like you to interview for our job. A lot of people in the building really like what you stand for, who you are. Would you be interested? Absolutely, I'd be interested. Well, we're trying to get our GM hired first, but just stay close. We're going to get you in here. Cool. They get the GM hired. Call him again. Hey, man, I really meant what I said. I want you to come in. I want to have a conversation with you. In our minds, I think you might be the leading guy. He was led to believe he might be the leading guy. It looked very strong. Then you hired the GM from the Buffalo Bills. He had a guy that he wanted, who is Brian Daboll. I gotta get used to that name. Anyway, Brian and him, they didn't already talk. Brian, you're my guy. Okay, man. But the owners are like, we really like Flores. Well, Mr. Marr, I appreciate that, but I'm telling you, you're gonna really love Brian too. They interviewed Brian Daboll. They appreciated him, they liked him, but they really wanted Flores. So now Daboll and Showing, whatever he calls his last name, he ain't right now. I'm pissed at him, so it really don't even matter. He says to his guy, "Hey man, I think you got it. But give me a minute to convince them. They're gonna need some convincing. I'm gonna make this work for us. But you're my guy. All right, cool. I'll lay low." So how it got to Bill Belichick, I don't know. But I do know that Brian Flores was called by Mr. Moore 2 to 3 times and told, you're what we want. So that's why he thought this was my job. That's why I thought it was my job, because he hearing the same thing I'm hearing. That's why I could come on here confidently and say, oh, it's Brian Flores. And then as we got closer, I said, well, damn, maybe it ain't Brian Flores. Maybe the Daboll dude has got a real shot at this thing. And that kind of makes sense, because if you're a GM, one of the things that Mr. Marr made a tragic mistake on, you don't go publicly and say, we got to let the GM have his own guy. That may be true to a certain extent, but you box yourself in once you say it, which is what he did. So publicly at the press conference, they jammed him up and he said, well, John's going to hire our new GM. Well, he was going to hire your new GM no matter who it was, because that's his job. So it really didn't matter. But you boxed yourself in like he was going to make the selection. Fast forward to him making the selection privately. Obviously, you saw what happened with the text message to Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick got his names mixed up in his phone, and obviously has Flores under the Daboll number and Daboll under the Flores number. Hit the wrong thing, and the rest is history. So I blame Mr. Marr. more than anybody else. I blame Mr. Marr. Because, bro, you got to have some Jerry Jones in you. Like, you can't just be completely hands off. You got to have some Jerry Jones in you. Like, hey, man, did you handle that situation? I told you that. He didn't do that. So now here we are looking foolish.
Here we are.
And I also blame John Shukallah, whatever his name is. I blame him. Because, bruh, you ain't got to tell everybody what you're doing. At least not everybody that ain't a part of the organization. Why did Bill Belichick deserve a phone call?
Can we blame Apple as well?
We can blame. No, Apple don't get no blame.
I'm going to tell you why I blame Apple, because in Belichick's phone, he didn't have the right emoji for that person, or his picture wasn't automatically downloaded on the phone. So I'm going to blame Apple for Belichick.
You know what? I'm not Apple on the bus like that, Reggie. I appreciate you trying to save our franchise and how we look out here in these streets. But I don't blame them, man. That's us. That's just stupidity.
Bill Belichick didn't have his reading glasses on. That's all it was.
Exactly.
I'm not even gonna blame the glass makers, man. We just dumb. This was just poorly handled. And it's rookie mistake stuff. This is bro, you just got hired to be a GM over an NFL franchise. You don't have to keep your damn mouth shut. Come on, man. It's sloppy. Now we out here looking. Now, whether you are a racist or not, you look like one because you just did what you did. And oh, by the way, how many black coaches have we had at the head coaching position? You look real stupid out here right now. And now you got to walk all this back and clean it up. And by the way, everybody and their mama know this wasn't a fair process of hiring. Because guess what? Everybody know that the dudes worked together as recently as an hour and a half ago. So, no, you can't even put that thing out there. We feel like it was a fair and thorough process. And he was there until the 11th hour. What are you talking about? How about you just come out and say, we F this all the way up? We owe Brian Flores an apology. We really did go in with good intentions. However, some things got missed. I would have respected that more than the BS statement they put out later. So, once again, we out here looking crazy. All right. I feel better now. Y'all carry on amongst yourselves.
Hey Lloyd, I think you're wrong, man. I don't think that's what Marr did. I think everything he did was intentional. He's just mad they didn't name it the Marr rule. 20 years ago.
Oh, you say he was going for the real prize?
Wow.
Oh man, it looks bad, man. It looks bad. I know you want me to pause, Brandon, but I'm sorry. I'm hot as fish grease. I don't know, man. Now the Miami stuff, I don't know about that. If that Miami stuff is true, man, telling a coach, I'll pay you $100,000 a week to tank so we can get a better draft pick. Ooh.
I don't see it being too far off what it may be true though, because Hugh Jackson said they did the same thing to him, offering him money too. So I think it's a practice that you definitely want to try to improve your draft status. So I don't see it being far-fetched.
Yeah, but here go the difference with Hugh Jackson. Drop that bombshell on him, Lord.
I haven't heard Hugh say he didn't take the money yet.
Oh yeah,
that's the difference. Brian Flores was like, I turned it down.
Yeah.
He was like, they offered me the same thing.
I was thinking the same thing. If you accepted the money, are you just as blamed as the person who gave you the money?
Yes.
Yeah. But hey,
I think the number I heard today was during that time that he was there from 16 to 17, they went 1-31. Is that what I heard? So if it was, is that right, Jesse? So if it was $100,000 per game,
we got $3 million. We got $3 million. We got $3 million plus. $3 million plus. Man, excuse me. About $5 million.
Hey, sign me up, and I'm bringing my boys with me.
Hey, I'm taking out all my starters at halftime.
Have anybody on this panel yet seen where he said he didn't take the money yet?
Say, man, stop.
No, I'm asking. I'm really asking the question. I haven't seen it.
No,
Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know if he took the money or not, but like, it would be worse. Like, what if he was trying to win? What if he said no and was out there trying to win?
Well, he deserved to be where he's at right now.
That sounds like what he was doing in Cleveland.
Yeah. I mean, I think Brian Flores, he should have stayed over dude's house like McCarthy did to Jerry Jones, man. That secures you the job, man.
Well, good luck, Grambling.
I'm not leaving.
But the whole Miami thing is very interesting because you got a program that you're really actually turning this program around. I mean, to be honest with you, what was that, 2020? If it wasn't for the Colts winning that last game, they would have made the playoffs. And so for you to actually tank, and then this year you made a run for the playoffs, and for a few teams having won at the end, Miami been in the playoffs again. So I don't understand that whole thought process of them tanking. I mean, isn't the idea is to try to win a championship, maybe start with the playoffs? Help me figure this out, Miami Dolphins.
Miami,
I don't know.
Miami in trouble.
Go ahead. You muted out. Yeah, go ahead.
It's all starting to add up, though. In my mind, that probably explains why his termination came as such a surprise. He wouldn't fall in line.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
True.
He said he refused the offer, so he wouldn't fall in line. So that explains why a man who appeared to be turning a program in the right direction, a man who seemed to have corralled all 53 of his players, including his prima donnas. Why would you let him go? Now it's starting to make sense.
Yeah.
At least to me.
First of all, let me just say, if it's all true, it's a cold-blooded game out here. That's a cold-blooded game.
Is anybody on this panel surprised?
No, Suge Knight thought it was a cold-blooded game.
Yeah, no.
What did you say, Jesse?
I said Suge taught us it was a cold-blooded game. Listen, I think the thing in Miami may be the most interesting piece of this whole thing. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Skirting the Rooney Rule and all that.
That's
right? Ignoring a candidate trying to play for an interview if that's what really happened in Denver, right? Whatever. But if you think about the racial undertone to this, right? If it started, right, if there was anything or had anything to do with what was going on, in his first season with, paying for losses, if he turned him down, when he got to the end of the third season and he left, you remember how they positioned that story happening? Right? He doesn't get along well with management.
Yeah.
He doesn't respect up the chain. He doesn't work well with others. He's not a team player. I chose the GM over the head coach because of a personality. Like, what does that make him look like? Right? Except now put what we all knew's been there, but like put that specifically over this situation.
That's the part that was shocking to me about the Miami part. It's one thing to be it's one thing to be racist, but it's another thing to be criminal. And to me,
say that again. I gotta listen. I apologize.
That's okay. I said it's one thing to be racist, another thing to be criminal. And to say I'm gonna send these guys out here, these 53 guys out here, and I don't really care if they get hurt or not, as long as we lose this game.
But here's the other part I don't understand. It's a money game. Isn't it the money game? Winning leads to more people in the seats and more sponsorship. Am I correct?
More merchandise being sold, more
merchandise being sold.
Yeah.
So why are we tanking? I'm trying to understand the thought process. If I'm an owner, I want to win. I want to make more money.
Yeah, but you want to get that.
One of the top selling jerseys this past season was the fella out of Clemson.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
You want to get that top pick so you can be able to market that person.
Yeah, that was 21 though. 20 was Burrow and was Burrow out of LSU.
Yeah, he's like right. But the point is the same. I think maybe he felt like he could sell more Burrow jerseys in Florida, which he probably can. I mean, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an amazing situation. How do y'all feel about him filing the lawsuit in the midst of rumors that the Texans prior to yesterday had him the lead dog in the clubhouse as it relates to that job? So there's a quiet link between him and Deshaun Watson. And then maybe the Saints had just he was interviewing with the Saints when the story broke.
You know, when you handed the flag, you just charge the mound. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the battle, they hand you the flag, you charge the mound. I wish that he would have waited till the hiring season was over.
Yeah.
Because that would have added more validity to his stance. But, you know, again, it's his cause, so he's got to charge the mound when he feels it's time.
Well, it would have added validity if he wouldn't have gotten hired.
Right.
But if the Texans hired him, then it's like, oh, this claim doesn't stand.
That also, that's my point. At this point, the remaining 7 teams that haven't pulled the trigger yet, because he was our top guy. So I don't know what he's talking about. He was our guy.
You know, and part of me feels like he would have got a head coaching job. The way for some reason, I don't think everybody would have skipped out. I could be wrong. You've been hearing too many teams really liking Flores. Am I right?
That's what they're supposed to say. That's what the Rooney Rule tells them to say. No, I mean, I'm serious. We got 9 head coaching positions, right? 4 of them have been filled. We're 4 for 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's the thing. That's the thing right there.
I agree with Al. I wish he would have waited after, because, like you said, you have a little bit more steam behind it. You know, so I can see it going both ways, but I'm in total agreement with Al. Yeah.
When does it mean more though?
Now.
Yeah. When is he risking it all?
In the midst of I want the turmoil in the midst of everything, right?
I'm only going to fight the fight when I get to that safe spot over there. Right?
Yeah. I want to know.
But he could still bring up the issue, still get a job, and then, if he wants to drop the suit, he can. But ultimately, if he wants to coach, he can still coach.
But that goes to Rick Kwan's question: can you sue your boss and keep your job?
I mean, but I think that
not in my job, you can't.
I think that
whistleblower rules will protect him.
Yeah, I think that him including all the other teams probably was something that he was advised to do by his lawyer. But I feel like if they still think he's a good candidate, I think somebody would still hire him.
Hey, Chad. Chad, is Colin Kaepernick a good quarterback still?
It depends on who you ask.
Don't start stuttering on me, Chad. Is he a good quarterback?
I said it depends on who you ask. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
we asking you.
I'm asking you, Chad.
I'm answering. I said I don't know. I haven't seen current tape on him.
Oh, so it ain't about the Golden State Warriors. You don't know. All right.
I'm just saying. He could.
Hey, but the thing is suing the NFL is going to be a long shot, to my opinion.
I agree with that, Richie.
The other team, the team you will, but suing the NFL, it's going to be a long shot.
I think it depends on what we call the NFL.
Yeah,
that's the problem with this whole lawsuit. What are we calling the NFL? If the NFL is the players and coaches and owners all together, then that lawsuit doesn't have a strength to it. To me, if the NFL is the owners, which is what I think he is calling the NFL, well, there's some validity to that. But I don't know.
No,
I think it's the owners that he's going
after. But you can't call the owners only the NFL.
Right. The NFL is the group.
But the owners don't have a union though, so I think that's how he had to approach it.
Who doesn't have a union?
I don't think the owners have one.
Man,
no, they don't have a union.
So that's what I'm saying. So he had to go at it like that.
But the NFL, they don't have any say so about who hires a head coach at any institution because while it's the NFL,
I get what you're saying.
They're all individual corporations.
Right.
So you can't, you see what I'm saying? So it's hard.
I get what you're saying, but
it's hard to sue the brand, the NFL, when technically it ain't the brand's fault. It's these owners' fault.
It's the Giants' fault.
The owners are going to do this.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
The GM made that hard. We didn't make that hard.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Al and Reggie and everybody that he should have waited. But I mean, we're here now.
And I don't agree. I think he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Can I come in on that, please?
Yeah.
Now, my stance on that is I don't think I see why he's attacking the NFL. I think he should be more of still attacking the individual teams that are involved. Like I told Lloyd today, like I talked to Jesse a little bit today, I say, man, listen, if in these situations, we're talking about really I'm not so much the Denver, but if we're talking about these coaches like Oakland just hired their coach, their GM and their coach. If we're talking about who's the other thing, the Giants just hired their GM and coach. If it was me and they hired me, and I'm the GM, and I'm the assistant GM over for the Patriots, and they hire me, well, guess what I'm gonna do? This is why I hate the Rooney Rule. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm bringing Josh McDaniels with me. He know me. He know my system. He know what I want to input. So that's why I feel like they got to change the rule a little bit. Because now what you've asked me as a GM when you hired me is to say, hey, make sure you interview all these candidates because we got this other cultural thing going on. And I get it. I understand why. I understand it. But when you hire me, you best believe I'm going to take the people I know. Like, the thing that I feel like got me the position. For me,
you don't know no black coaches that you got.
I did not say that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. If you was coaching, I'll bring you with me.
Oh, but in what position though? Do I get to be head coach or
you the left guard coach.
If it's a Giants, you can coach defense. You ain't touching the offense because you and Daniel Jones don't get along.
We don't get along.
Yeah,
we don't get along.
Listen, I'm not on both sides of the fences. Of course, we've seen this happen, but we've seen Adam Silver go up and clean this up in the NBA. Mm-hmm. So that's not a deal. Maybe they need to take a page out of the NBA. But we talk about the NFL. We talk about the most money worth, the most profit, and the most everything. You know, we've seen all this stuff go on. It's just now surfacing. And
can I throw another bomb in, Reggie? I know you're gonna jump in, but let me throw this one bomb in right before you do, and then you can add this to whatever you go say. How is this any different with what Minnesota Vikings is doing?
It's not.
Are they doing the exact same thing?
They should be in trouble too. It's not.
Because they just brought our defensive coordinator in, Patrick Graham, for an interview today. And then ended the day with the guy who's probably going to get the job, Jim Harbaugh.
Hey, and to Cam, what Cam just said, the Chicago Bears just hired their coach from the defensive coach from the Indianapolis coach, and he brought the safety coach as his defensive coordinator. Cam just said exactly what they're doing.
But that's
a
whole different thing to me, though. That's a whole different thing to me. When you're bringing in coaches that you have relationships with, that's different than saying the guy that sits in the seat that makes the decisions.
Right.
Let me look, because here's the thing, this is me as a matter of fact. Let me do it this way, so nobody says I'm biased.
Oh no!
No, I'm saying it this way for a reason. Brian Daboll is not more qualified for that position than Brian Flores.
See,
they tried to say we brought in the most qualified coach, and I'm saying that's not true.
That's what I was getting ready to say to rebut what Cam said. You know, you're going to bring in people you know. I would hope that resumes outweighed relationships, because if you're just bringing in people you know and not considering who has the better resume, you're not saying what's best for the team.
It's the NFL, though, Al. It's the NFL. This has been happening.
That's why I said 15 minutes ago. Ain't nobody on here should be surprised.
Let's talk about your team. Bill Parcells come in. Who did he go get? He went to go get his boys. Now I'm glad a couple of them were black. I am glad about that. But he went to go get a couple his boys that he was familiar with, people that played with him, people that knew his system. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's on the fence. Like it's.
But see, therein lies the rub. When you're a GM and an owner, are you bringing in a coach to establish a system? You're not bringing in a coach to run your system. So it makes sense for a head coach to bring in people he trusts who knows his system.
You don't think for the GM
as a GM?
You don't think so for a GM?
Well, it's like it's like this in the
you
real
better
world.
ask Jerry. I'm just saying, you better ask Jerry.
Well, it's like this in the real world. It's not always what you know; it's who you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people get jobs and stuff based off relationships.
That is true.
So it's not.
And I don't even fault that part. In fact, what Joe did to bring in Brian Daboll, I get it. That's your guy. Y'all just been working together. You trust him. You know him. You've seen his work ethic. I get it. I totally get it. But it's just like what I told y'all, though. He had to go convince the owners that was the right decision over this guy who just took a bunch of dudes named Mo and went 1-7, and then they turned around and almost made the playoffs. So my thing is, first of all, we're not dumb. As a public, we're not dumb. You're not going to tell us that this guy is more qualified than this guy just because this guy coached a better quarterback situation than the other guy. They both have janky quarterback situations when they got there. And guess what? Both guys turned their quarterbacks around. So, but the only difference was Brian Flores did his from the head coach seat. Brian Daboll did his from the coordinator seat.
I think you're being biased a little bit. Because you've been telling us since week 11, week 13, 14, 15, that Brian Flores is your guy. You didn't get him.
Listen, I ain't gonna listen. I'd be lying if I said I don't feel a little salty. So that is true. But if I don't get him because Brian Daboll truly presented himself and presented his case better than he did, then I'm okay with that. I can live with that. But that ain't what just happened here.
I feel you.
Oh yeah.
So that's what's frustrating to me.
Yeah. Miami should be on the hook on this though. Miami, they should. The league should come take them by storm because they say if this stuff is true.
But,
the Giants got to pay some too.
Before Flores got there, wasn't it a lot of free agents getting out of Miami? Players trying to get out of Miami.
If I remember correctly, it wasn't as many as it was until after he got there. After he got there, it was a fire sale. Like everybody was getting out. Cam Jordan. Right, yeah. He was still doing his thing.
So what I'm saying, is it more going on in Miami than we think? What I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because think about what's happening with the players now with Flores. So maybe it was the players knew that they wanted to lose. You just never know. Hey, that's my conspiracy theory. That's why they were trying to get out of there.
Well, I'm gonna say this to your conspiracy theories. Players aren't stupid either,
right?
And they know when a franchise is trying to listen. Here's the thing: Cam Jordan went to the owner, and he knew he got ready to renegotiate his contract. Now, Cam Jordan clearly earned his money. He had clearly earned his money by the time he went to get his negotiation on. The fact that you don't want to pay me my money, that tells me something different. Right. That we can't even sit down to the table. So what are you trying to build here if you don't want to pay me, who is arguably the best player on this team? So players aren't stupid either. So, it's so many moving parts to this thing, man. It's hard to grab hold of one and just say, well, that's the one. Man.
So, Lloyd, I need you to realize one more thing. Daniel Jones is going to be a quarterback next year.
Okay, so let me say something to that.
I disagree. Not sitting there with 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, that's just you trying to hate, and I'm gonna feel the same way when they sell Clay off.
My dog.
This guy.
Just to say the Celtics can grab Klay Thomas for Brown. He'll take it all day.
I'm just saying. We want to throw shady comments. I'll throw shady comments all day. No, my problem with this whole thing is that a precedent has been set to such a degree now that we don't know what to trust.
Right.
And how do you move forward? Because listen, Minnesota done clearly picked their guy. That's going down probably within the next 24 hours. They're probably just trying to get the paperwork dried off. So if you're a black coach in this league, what is your hope to ever become a head coach?
Black owners.
Mike Tomlin leave, and maybe everybody just cycling through Pittsburgh.
Black owners. More black executives.
You gotta be able to. They gotta let you in the club.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah.
You can't. They can't even get in.
Broncos out there.
Yeah, Denver. You can. I mean, whoever pays, they can get that Denver Broncos. Reggie got some money. He can go out and do so.
Reggie who?
Reggie Love. You got some money tucked away. I know you got.
Hey,
Billy.
Hey,
man.
Well, listen. Here's the rumor. Here's the rumor.
Connected to my savings account and
Hall of Fame nephew.
Oh yeah. Call him out. Call him out.
Well, listen. Here's the rumor on the Broncos. The rumor is that Jay-Z is making a bid on it. He's putting together a package and a group, and they're making a bid on it. But man, we got to go all the way to Denver to get a franchise. Like we got to.
What's wrong with Denver, brother?
I mean, it's cold.
I'm calling
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying.
Cold.
Hey, at least we know we ain't got Daniel Jones as our quarterback.
Oh man, I ain't throw slugs at him like you did at me.
He's not yet.
He started slugging at that.
Go ahead.
I just said it's cold. That's all I said. I'd like to see him get it. I just don't know if they're gonna let him in the club.
But can I ask a question? Is this Brian Flores situation gonna end up like the Colin Kaepernick situation?
Feels like it. Feels like it.
No, what do you mean by that? Like it's not going to have the impact that it should on systemic change, or it's going to create a movement,
or he's not going to get a job.
Like I think, like you say, like when you talk, I think Kaepernick may have opened the door for this kind of stuff because basically he really raised the level of this stuff. He got shut out by it. You know what I mean? But Brian Flores, he got the seat at the table now. You know, like he's going to be heard.
If Flores is successful, if this creates any type of momentum as far as societal movement, it'll be beyond what happened with Kaepernick, and Flores will be able to immediately look over his shoulder and thank the people that came before him. Yeah,
I think the situation between Flores and Cap are slightly different in the sense that Flores can go off to Bowie State, Appalachian State, and do the things that Coach Sanders is doing and Hugh Jackson is doing and Eddie George is doing down at Tennessee State and still build on his legacy, whereas Cap had his NFL career and that was it. I mean, he's doing things now with the documentary, whatever, but I think there'll be more or a longer lasting presence felt with Flores because he won't just fade off into the background like Homer Simpson and Bush.
But think what you just said, though, Al. think about what you just said, though. That's why I think it's similar because I think Cap is the one that opened up that door for all of what you just said about the HBSU, all that stuff. I think he's the one that opened that door for that stuff. This stuff wasn't being discussed 15 years ago and 20 years ago.
So you think Cap's stance is what caused the exodus to HBCUs?
I think Cap's stance is what allowed Flores to go ahead and do what he did now.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Right, but and Flores should have a better outcome. It would look like that on the surface, but I think it all leads back to whatever Cap is trying to do.
I'm gonna put it like this: Cap had a great stance, but I'm still subject to him playing as good as he was without Harbaugh. That's just
facts. I'm 100% with that. That's why I asked Chad, is he a good quarterback? That's right. I totally agree.
Yeah.
But
he might get another.
I can't name you 32 quarterbacks that was better than him, though.
Right.
He might get another.
But
he might get another chance because his coach is going to Minnesota. So
yeah. Hey, maybe 4 or 5 years ago that would have worked for him, but right now,
I don't know.
Hey,
listen, nothing would surprise me with the NFL these days. I don't know. I'm wondering about this situation with the Texans because here's the other side with the Texans. There's a business side that they gotta clean up, and if they don't clean this up immediately, they could be bad for the next 10 years easily. So they got a quarterback in house right now that can at least get the franchise back to normality and stop.
What quarterback is that?
Whoa. Call him what he is. He is a top 5 quarterback by the stats.
I'm just saying, he right there.
Hey, Reggie Love, don't do that because we'll take him right now for the coach.
And and the coach
hold on, I just need a massage first before I get started.
Hold on. And the coach that he wants to play for is still out there technically.
Brian Flores.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, technically that would be the same thing that Denver is doing. You brought in the Green Bay offensive coordinator. Why did they bring him in?
So they can get
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So Houston would be doing the exact same thing that
prior to this, I think they were about to do this. Now they I don't know if this is gonna change any of that, but all the rumors said he was gonna be their guy. So he still may be their guy. They might be like, we ain't racist. Come over here, let's get this because they technically just hired a black coach.
No, but see, Lloyd, go deeper than that. So they hired a black coach. What's one of the biggest stigmas with hiring black head coaches in the NFL? That you hire them when you're in a bad situation as a stopgap until you get your draft picks and you go hire who you really want, right? First of all, then they proved that out by bringing him into a team that the previous year had an all-pro quarterback in Watson and J.J. Watt on the defensive line, won 4 games. They come into this year in shambles, right? Complete disarray. Culture, everything, no motivation for the players, no direction. Guess how many games Culley wins? 4 games, same as they did the year before, and then they fire him, just like the stigma says they were supposed to.
You can't argue with any of that.
You can't.
No, you're 1,000% correct. But I think but Brian, I don't think they thought they could get Brian in their building though. Nobody thought Brian was going to get fired by Miami.
Right.
So they fired Culley after.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They now that they know Brian is available, they're like, we got to get this dude out of here so we can get the guy we want.
And I kind of agree with you, Lord. I'm like, they was like, okay, Flores is available. So,
Where is Culley from? What tree is he from?
I forgot. If you hadn't asked me, I'd be able to tell you. You probably know, though. That's why you asked.
I think I do know. I just want to make sure. I'm not sure. I just want to make
Oklahoma.
Don't do that.
Indianapolis.
Is it Indy guy?
Where are you from, Jess?
I thought he was a Reed guy.
He was a who?
I thought he was an Andy Reid guy in Philly.
Can somebody look that up and see where this guy's from?
I thought you knew. I figured you knew. Okay,
I'm just asking a question to my sports buddies.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
But when you ask questions, sometimes you already know the answer.
You know the answer. I don't know why.
Is that why you said Oklahoma Boomer Sooner? Yeah, we got a couple of them in the Super Bowl playing. Yes.
Wait, what? How did we get to that?
Because you said Oklahoma.
Huh?
I don't know how we get. I don't know how we got to who was playing in the Super Bowl.
That's Chad who said stuff like that.
No. I
still like what?
Hey, he's at a Reed's camp.
Lord brought up Oklahoma.
Oh,
that's why I said that.
That's true.
He was with Reed in Philly and then followed him to Kansas City.
Okay.
He left Kansas City in 2018 and went to Baltimore.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
It's a conspiracy. I think.
Prior to that, he was fired up in Pittsburgh.
Conspiracy. You know what it is? It's like if Lloyd owned a Chinese food restaurant, and then he hired me to be the general manager, and then we went in there and tried to cook all that food and read all those menus, and what kind of sense does that make?
None to me, but I mean,
I know how to eat it.
You got to have somebody back there that know how to cook it though.
You know, we got one exception to this stuff, to this thing. Is Cincinnati held on to Marvin Lewis for 20 years, and everybody thought Marvin Lewis should have been gone.
Yeah, but they were paying Marvin Lewis to lose playoff games.
Well, but now here's the thing. Marvin Lewis said there was some shady stuff with him when in some of these interviews. He said he thought he had a legit shot. And think about it. Marvin Lewis was coming out of the Ravens situation
right.
in 2000, which would have led you to believe, based on the way things typically work in the NFL, man, he had a legit shot to be the Carolina Panthers head coach. They gave it to John Fox. How'd that work out?
But speaking, and I do believe Marvin Lewis at least deserves another shot as a defensive coordinator in the league. At least a defensive coordinator.
Man, I don't know.
No.
I think a lot of guys deserve a lot of shots. I mean, why is Eric Bieniemy still an offensive coordinator?
I think because of his background. I think he got into some trouble, some other kind of trouble that he had a little past in Colorado. He had some.
You mean some like Louisville trouble?
Yeah, he had some things going on. I think maybe hindering.
I mean, we're talking about scandals and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
you want to play the clip of the championship game. I mean,
do not mention Louisville in this.
Take some off, Jesse.
Yeah.
Take some off.
Don't mention Louisville.
Go ahead, Jesse. Go
hey,
ahead.
I neither paid for those strippers nor vacated your championship.
Go ahead.
There's no reason to be mad at me.
Say what you will, Jesse, but this is to Chad Major.
Jesse. Preach, Jesse.
We whooped y'all's ass. Regardless of the strippers and the vacated banners, we whooped y'all's ass.
Hold up. So let me ask you this. I'm with Jesse on this.
Let
me ask you this question. If you vacated the championship, are you a champion?
Nope.
We're still a champion because we got one prior to that.
I'm just asking.
Once a champion, always a champion. We're still champions.
Hey, ask Reggie Bush what he feels like.
We can ask Reggie all we want to, but I saw Reggie win that Heisman. I don't care who took it from him.
I didn't.
And you saw it too.
I saw Vince Young.
I bet it was a white guy. Walked right up to his house, knocked on that door, said, "I got paperwork."
Let's go, Jesse.
Bring that back out. While we're here, because based on all the things that have happened, we had to rearrange the show. So, we talking about coaches. Breaking news. Take it for what it is. I'm gonna read it as it's written. Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell has emerged as the favorite to become Vikings head coach. This is from Adam Schefter and Dan Graziano.
Yeah, you know why, right? You know why? You heard the backstory to that?
I have not.
It's because he's white.
Is Jim Harbaugh white?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Jim Harbaugh white? That's
cutthroat out there. Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh is going back to the
Miami.
Jim Harbaugh is going to Miami.
Let me say something to you about what you just said, Chad. If y'all welcome him back, y'all are the desperate, ugly girl at the party who just go have a man just because.
I mean,
because that's ridiculous. That dude interviewed on signing day. He didn't have the decency to welcome y'all new recruits to the building, and y'all want him back.
Lord, why would you not take him back?
Y'all said it time and time again on this show. He's got to see what's out there. So you can't fault him for that. He's got to see what his value is.
Yeah, but not on wedding day, not on the wedding day.
But Lord, why would you not take him back? I'm like Al.
I mean, you got to start over again. You got to start way over again if you don't take him back.
Yeah, I mean, this man just took you to the playoffs.
I feel you, dog. So y'all in an open relationship. No problem. I get it.
It's an entanglement, damn you. It's an entanglement.
Imagine, hold up. Let's be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. Imagine you think you're going to lose recruits then? You change coaches. It's going to be – Michigan's going to have to start all the way back over.
Yeah.
I take it the other way. I don't think he's out there trying to figure out his value. I mean, look at what he's got. He's got GM responsibilities, right? He picks anybody he wants to play for him. College coaches, top 10, top 20 college coaches get paid the same amount as the NFL coaches, right? $9, $10, $11 million a year. So, I mean, he just beat Ohio State. So, I mean, he's got, the only reason he goes back to the NFL is ego, right? He goes back and says, oh, my brother can do it. I got to be able to do it at that level or whatever it is. And when Ross said he's not going to hire him because he can't take him away from his alma mater and now he's interviewing at Minnesota. I mean, Ross can throw an offer out now, right?
Yeah.
The rules changed.
Yeah.
Rules always change. That's how it works. Yeah. Listen. So who do you? So we know that we got Dayball. Vegas got Josh McDaniels. Chicago got East Flores, whatever that guy's name.
Hey.
Don't be saying that guy. What that?
Don't say that guy. Do not say that guy.
I don't know his name.
You put the strap on my franchise, dude. Don't be doing that.
Yeah.
Eberflus.
What is his name?
Eberflus.
That guy.
Is it Eberflus? Okay.
Eberflus.
White guy number 3.
The guy with a 2022 Super Bowl winning franchise. He just left a 2022 Super Bowl winning franchise. That's that guy name.
Him downstairs.
Ain't that right, Cam? That championship.
I thought they said he came from the Colts.
Lord, don't do this, man.
I'm asking a question.
You don't want to do this.
You don't want to do this.
I ain't say that.
I said, Lord. Hey,
Reg,
Lord, your franchise
said he kept the 2022 franchise.
Lord, your franchise just been set back 10 years.
No, we haven't set back 10 years.
Yes, you did.
It ain't that bad.
Hey, Lloyd. Look, the Giants just got accused of subverting rules that have racial undertones to them, right?
We did.
Okay, let's take it back 2 years. How in the hell can they justify hiring Joe Judge over Bieniemy?
Oh, they can't.
They can't.
They can't.
Hey, Jesse, did
I can't alone, right?
I can go back further than that, Jesse. We haven't got that hiring thing right for the last 6 years.
Hold up, Jesse. Did I say 10 years? I mean, he set back about 20. I'm gonna add another 10 to that. He set back 20 years.
Well, Reggie, that'll put us right in alignment together because y'all gonna have Carson Wentz that long.
So says Daniel Jones.
So with Daniel Jones.
So we both gonna stink. So are we sitting there arguing who's gonna stink the most? Is that what we doing?
No.
We're not gonna stink as bad as you are.
Yeah, because the GM already said that Daniel Jones is your guy for another year.
Listen, if we have
that GM's full of good decisions this week, huh?
Yeah, but clearly, but we've also proved something else that the GM is. He's a liar. So that don't mean just because he said that don't mean that's what's gonna happen.
Well, can you put the Giants back hat on, Lord? Can you put the Giants hat on?
Why are we doing this, Reggie?
Yeah, let's keep it 100. Put your hat back on, man.
I'll put my hat back on. No man, I ain't scared.
Your franchise, bro.
You what?
Do they know you have that hat on? They may tell you to take it off.
My Giants hat?
They might tell you to take it off, bro.
They can tell me all they want to. It don't change what has happened. I'm a realist about
That's called the Rooney Rule.
This is the Rooney Rule. You gotta have at least one black representation for the franchise.
Man.
Or one white one.
Right. It's bad. So who's left and who you think is gonna get left out? Who's left and who you think is gonna get left out?
It looks like Eric Bieniemy gonna get left out. It looks like Byron Leftwich gonna get left out. It looked like the defense coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to get left out.
Anybody black is going to get left out.
Leftwich reported to be going to Jacksonville.
Who?
I mean,
no.
I said reported.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels reported.
That's the rumor. I mean,
hey, hold up. By the way, if I'm Vegas, I would be happy with Josh until the first game of the season. I'm just saying.
For real. Is he gonna coach?
I'm calling it like it is. I'm just saying.
He may change his mind.
No, he made the press conference. Take a little off.
He didn't make it. He was there. He had on a suit.
Oh my goodness.
He didn't have on a Raiders hat, but he had on a suit.
Right.
Hey, last time he made it to a press conference for a head coaching hiring job, he went to the playoffs and won a game with a quarterback named Tim Tebow. So
that's true. That is very true. That was with your Broncos, Reggie.
Beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So he might be the real thing.
So we're saying Bisaccia is going to get a job before Brian Flores?
Who?
Bisaccia, the dude is in Las Vegas.
No.
If that dude get a job before Brian,
whoa! Take some off. He had a great year. Took his team to the playoffs.
And we had
he proved he was a good leader on a good team.
So he got a better resume than the guy who just led, who was the offensive coordinator for a team that went to 3 straight AFC championships and won a Super Bowl.
No, he doesn't.
And went to another.
But he'll probably get a job before him though too.
But don't Andy Reid call some of them plays? I know he said the modest thing to say, "Oh, he calling the plays," but don't Andy Reid call plays? Didn't we know this in Philly?
I'm gonna talk about the elephant in the room. Here's the elephant in the room.
Oh my God!
If the NFL finishes this hiring season and they only have one black head coach hired, this is a black eye. No pun intended.
Now's a black eye. All right, can I give me 30 seconds?
Take it.
From
Give
1925.
him the big screen, Lloyd. Welcome to the show, Jesse.
I was gonna say, say it with the chest, Jesse.
Hey,
go ahead and give him the big screen.
because today's
Oh, the
not
computer's acting up. Okay, there we go.
today's not the black eye, right? From 1925 to 1988, the NFL didn't hire a single black head coach. 6 NFL teams still have never hired a black head coach or any person of color. Right? In 2000, there were 3 black head coaches in the league. In 2018, there were 5 openings, 5 white coaches hired. Last year, 7 openings. All 4 coordinators in the championship games last year were black.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Only 1 black head coach hired last year. Every time. Yeah. It's every time. This year isn't the black eye, right? This year's the definition of insanity.
Yeah, man. Drop the mic on them.
I mean, I don't know if you can say it better than what you just said.
Hey, and can I add this? At least the Indianapolis Colts won a championship with one.
I mean,
had to do a full circle, Red.
Yeah.
I like what you did there, Reggie. But Reggie, can I tell you something?
What's that?
What you just said magnifies what Jesse just said.
Right.
All we need is an opportunity.
Yeah, that's it.
The same opportunity you're giving everybody else.
Yeah, so, here's the problem. What they're making the opportunity now, they're making the opportunity a lie. Right? The second you start skirting the Rooney Rule, right? And it's happening. Come on.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Right?
Because when Tony Dungy won the Super Bowl, and he had to step away for personal reasons. I think his son,
his son had committed.
So they replaced him with Caldwell, right?
Right.
Eventually, Caldwell got fired, right? Caldwell went to Detroit. I think that's the last time Detroit had a winning season, and then they fired him.
Yeah.
Like race.
You have 2 in a row.
Yeah.
He took them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They lost to the most sorry Cowboys. He should get fired then. You're right. Never mind.
That's right. You trying to hold on to it. You trying to hold on to it. It didn't work. I got you.
This guy.
I got you.
But like Ray said,
it's a sad reality, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Absolutely. You got names out there like Frazier, Raheem Morris, Byron Leftwich. You got all these guys. 8 or 9 solid coordinators out there and position coaches out there. And you mean to tell me these 11 positions that were open, none of them fit the bill? None of them are ready for that stage?
Who was the defensive coach that y'all got from Seattle?
Chris Richard.
How is he not a head coach?
He's on New Orleans. He was on New Orleans staff. I don't know if he's still there.
He's coaching the defense over there, and they've been like top 10 area. How is he not a head coach? How did Dallas let him go?
How's Raheem Morris not a head coach?
No, Dallas is one of those 6 teams, Ken.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, not until Deion Sanders become available.
That's kind of crazy because they kept Kellen when they fired everybody. They kept Kellen.
Trash.
Because he's part of the family, man.
And you represent this? You like this?
I don't.
Well, switch teams then, like you switched from the Mavericks to the Warriors.
But when Deion Sanders get hired, man, everything's gonna change.
Oh my goodness, I don't know that.
And look, let's talk
both Steve and Jerry would have to be 6 feet under before that happens.
Look, you hear what I said? Let's go to the playoffs now, because that is not happening.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
So, because I'm so ready to talk about this Kansas City game.
So currently, before we move on, Pittsburgh's still got the only black coach in the league.
Only one.
Yes.
Hey, Al, take it one step further. You got Pittsburgh, one black head coach, 32 teams. You got 4 teams with a black offensive coordinator, 12% of the league. You got 11 teams with a black defensive coordinator, 34% of the league. Only 3 teams have a black quarterback coach, 9% of the league. And only 6 teams have a black general manager, right? When you take the head coaches, the offensive coordinators, the defensive coordinators, and the quarterback coaches that are black in the league, and you add them all together, that's 17 out of 128 possible coaching jobs. less than 15% of the league.
And the league is like 85% black.
First of all, Jesse brought all the receipts tonight.
Yeah.
From Costco, from Sam's Club, from Myers,
When you pull up behind the lady that does the extreme couponing. Jesse's going to the index card box like.
No, I love it, bro. Brian Flores sent me copies of his receipts, and I'm just using them.
I love it. I love it.
The statistician.
Because the reality is this: nothing in this league is ever going to change until things like what Brian Flores did. Until you shine a light on the embarrassing look of it all. It's the same thing that happened in the NBA. When the situation went down in was it Minnesota or Chicago? Which one was it? I think it was Minnesota. When the coach, they fired the coach, and then instead of bringing on, they fired Flip's son.
Well, they brought his son. That's Minnesota. Yeah.
Right. And instead of bringing on a very capable backup, they went and did all this other weird stuff. And somebody said, "Hey, man, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous that we got qualified guys that are not getting an opportunity." Then all of a sudden, now the playing field in the NBA is starting to level out. But somebody had to call it out, and and here's the other side. The players have to stand up for these coaches as well. They gotta. Now that's the one thing that I think is missing from the NFL. The NBA players are far louder about discrepancies than the NFL players are. So if the Patrick Mahomeses and the Dak Prescotts and the Russell Wilsons all open their mouths and say, "Hey man, something is wrong here," then maybe, and they say it in such a way to where they will push back if change is not. Because see, when LeBron them said and Chris Paul them said, they said in such a way that Adam Silver now has the authority to go to the owners and say, the players aren't happy about this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something that I've been preaching all along. It goes way before they get to the NBA. We're not teaching these kids to use this right here. All we doing is taking the youth and throwing them out there just to play sports. And when the sports game is over with, they don't know how to use this right here. And that's why I say all the time. Our kids don't know how to handle adversity. They don't know how to handle just working on education, thinking, not necessarily education, thinking, but it's up to us to give them that. So when it's time for them to be in certain positions, like what's going on now, they're ready. They got to know how to, you want an offensive coordinator, a black offensive coordinator, a black defense, and a head coach, they got to learn how to read plays. They got to know how to know the offense. They got to know these things to run our mind. We got to quit throwing
these Reggie, there are enough guys.
Listen, Lord, we got to quit throwing these young men out here just for the sports side of things. The sports side of things is huge. We don't want stuff like this happening all
Reggie,
around.
I don't disagree with that part. But where we are right now, there are enough qualified guys to be able to step into these roles. Hold on. I heard what you said. Let me finish real quick. I don't disagree with what you're saying. But what it takes to be able to demand to get the kind of coach that we need, that just takes somebody stepping their ass up. That's Patrick Mahomes.
You gotta have knowledge behind it, Lord. You gotta have knowledge.
You don't think Patrick Mahomes has the knowledge? Russell Wilson has the knowledge? They got the knowledge. They don't have the cojones.
Oh, it's more than that, Lord. It's more than that. It's more than that, Lord. Trust me, it's more than that.
No, it's not, Reggie. No, it's not. No, it's not. I disagree with you on that.
I tell you what,
disagree with you on that.
You keep throwing these damn youth out the way, we're gonna forever have this problem going on.
But that's a whole different thing from what's happening in real.
What I'm saying.
But what's happening in real time is that in real time right now, you're not wrong, Reggie, in that we're throwing them out there and we can better prepare them to stand up in these situations. But in real time right now, you're not going to tell me, because somebody said in the chat, well, he don't want to be banned like Cap. Kansas City is not going to ban Patrick Mahomes like Kaepernick. They're not going to do that. Russell Wilson is not going to be banned out of the league.
I'm saying situations like this, we got to continue bringing the youth up so we can be prepared for stuff like this.
Okay, but right, and that's the long term. That's the long term. I'm saying right here today.
I'm not talking about right here today. I'm saying this situation is teaching, and we have for everything in the past we have to learn and grow from.
Again, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but what I am saying is that both things got to happen at the same time. You can't wait on those kids to come into the league 15 years from now, and then we change everything.
I'm not saying that, Lord. I'm just saying let's don't forget about that aspect of it. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm saying let's don't forget about that part.
Okay, but the best way to teach them is to show them. And I can show them right now, Patrick Mahomes could say something and say, oh, by the way, Eric Bieniemy should have been there, had a job. If y'all want us to keep playing for y'all.
What made me get on the subject was that you saying LeBron and all those guys are saying something. That's what I'm saying. We got to teach them to be like them. They're using their mind.
I agree.
They're using the Players Association, stuff like that. That's why I brought that up.
I don't disagree with any of that, Reggie.
I agree with that, Reggie. But at the same time, like yesterday, like right now, tomorrow on ESPN, if Mahomes get up and say something,
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying that. Listen to what I'm saying to you guys. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm saying let's don't forget about that part. That's what I'm saying.
But see, I guess the thing that I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, because I know you're right. But what I'm saying is the best way to teach them is to show them right now that. If I'm telling you, if the top guys, matter of fact, next week, if Aaron Donald, OBJ, Jalen Ramsey, all Jamar Chase, if all those guys are at those Super Bowl press conferences saying what happened to Brian Flores is wrong and we're not going to stand for it, and we're going to get with the union this summer and figure out how this can change. Bruh, I don't care what, listen, it'll start to change.
Right, and I totally agree with that.
Yes, I want to get you in.
I totally agree with that. We're supposed to be doing that in our own household today, in front of our own families. That's what we're supposed to do. I'm just saying that's where we got to start, so we don't leave that gap anymore.
Well, I don't disagree with what you're saying, Reggie. I don't disagree.
That's
what you're going to say. You on the soapbox tonight, Reggie. Go ahead, Jesse.
Reggie's just a little upset because we still got Carson Wentz on the roster, and I don't blame him.
And that makes sense to me. That anger makes sense to me. I got big Daniel Jones energy tonight. I
was going to say, it could be worse. You could have Daniel Jones on the roster.
It could be worse, Reggie.
I don't know.
It could be worse. It could be worse. Go ahead, Jesse. You ready to say something?
I was just going to say, I think you got to narrow the scope. I don't think anything Reggie said was wrong, but I think that there's still such a dichotomy between what's happening in the NFL and everywhere else. I mean, last year we just elected the most racially diverse and ethically diverse Congress we've ever had, right, in our history, 23%. You've been talking about the NBA, right? 8 head coaching jobs last summer. 7 black coaches were hired. Right? 43% of the coaches in the NBA are African-American. And that's not a new thing, right? That's what it was in 2012, 2013. That's what it was in 2013, 2014. Like, it's not a phenomenon for that league. It didn't just happen yesterday or because of Kaepernick or something else. There's something wrong with the NFL. right?
Exactly.
And until you drill down to that problem in that arena and address that, right, you're not gonna find the change you want, regardless of where it's happening everywhere else.
But I think, to your point, Jesse, it takes the players forcing that drill down, forcing the issue, saying right now, this is a problem, and we want to address this right now. And if we can't address it, just float it out there. LeBron them never say we're gonna go on strike. They never say it, but they say things in such a way that makes the owners go, we might need to look at this.
They put the league on notice.
They put them on notice, and that's all we said. And that's my only caveat to what you're saying, Reggie. If LeBron them show these kids, that's the best example that they can give them to the long-term thing that you're talking about. So now this next group of kids that's coming in, they are carrying now we're handing the torch to them and saying, this is how you run, this is how you maintain your power. This is how you not get, you're not, I don't want to use that word. I was about to use the word. This is how you not, this problem doesn't continue being a problem. I'll say it that way. There was a word I was going to use. I'm not going to use
it. Harbaugh returning to Michigan, by the way.
Yeah. What?
Harbaugh is returning to Michigan.
So that means they couldn't work out the numbers.
Look at that smile Chad got.
Okay. Go ahead, Al.
I was just going to say, until the Players Association for the NFL stands firmly and says, we make up 55 to 60% of the league. We want at least half of that, 25 to 30% representation in coaching. Until that happens, we're going to continue to be having this conversation.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. So, this is we knew this was going to be a rough night. We got a Boston guy here with us. Before we get to the next question, can we deal with the transition?
A Laker fan and a Boston fan? Isn't that like Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny being best buddies?
Hanging out together, right?
Hey, them two guys made a lot of money. You was watching them on TV, wasn't you?
That's true. Well, listen, the quarterback the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just retired. And he thanked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the staff and the teammates and the coach and the coaching staff and everybody involved in Tampa Bay for all of their hard work and service. Took him about 7 to 8 Instagram pages to do so. What was interesting is he didn't thank anybody from the team where he won the other 6 championships he won.
He did that when he left.
Yeah, it's some house cleaning that got to be done before that happens. It's going to happen. They're going to retire his jersey and all this stuff. Everybody know that. I mean,
well, I'm curious from a Boston fan why he thinks it happened.
Put him on notice then.
You bet your bottom dollar when he go into Canton, he's going to go in as a Patriot.
Got to.
Well, y'all ain't Boston fans. Let the Boston fans speak. I'm just curious to know what he thinks about all this.
I don't know. I've had some pretty shitty situations at work over my career, and I've gotten to a spot that I'm really enjoying everything. And if I went out right now, I feel like I'd be going out pretty much at the top of where I'm going to get to. And, if I was at my retirement ceremony, I'd probably focus on the great last couple of years I'd had and, then start naming off, people that I've worked with that I didn't really enjoy working with, right? Environments that I didn't really like being in. I might talk about the struggle, right, up the hill, but that doesn't mean that. I mean, you know what Brady feels about Belichick, right? And Belichick feels about Brady and Kraft and Brady. I mean, that's all.
I thought Kraft was his guy. I thought he loved Kraft.
Yeah, it's all family. I think it's understood, right?
Okay.
And Bill's a little bit of an egomaniac, or Kraft is, right, for sure, right? So, or else he wouldn't be wearing those shirts to those games. Let me just tell you right now. So, it's, you gotta, he may have been a little whatever, but I mean, that doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything.
So you weren't offended. You weren't offended at all.
Offended.
Some Patriots fans were offended that
Stop
he did not mention them on Instagram.
Stop it. It's Tom fucking Brady. There ain't nothing he could do to offend me.
He said that was that same
like a Laker fan being mad at Kareem. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. What are you guys' thoughts on Tom? What would you remember him as?
I would remember him as the guy that lost to the Giants twice.
That's what I remember as well.
Stop it, man.
I was thinking
the guy to put Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame.
The only reason that my guy Eli is gonna make it in is because of Tom Brady.
I think we just saw the best thing in football at the quarterback position, and I saw somebody challenging his legacy, and I thought it was going to happen, but Patrick Mahomes is real regular right now, and so I just think we've seen the greatest quarterback to play. We saw somebody that was running backwards at the NFL Combine. It's just the stuff that he did, his film study and all that stuff. It was over the top because the guy, he didn't come out on fire from what school did he go to at college? He didn't. Oh, okay, from Michigan. Okay, so he wasn't on fire when he came out like that. So
he wasn't on fire.
He's one of the realest ones out there, man. That's all I can say.
Reggie, I will remember him for what you just said. We got to teach these kids. When I teach kids about what it takes to be great, what it takes to be to maximize who you are and what you do, I will forever point to Tom Brady. That dude should not, by the history of the league, there's no logical reason why this guy is the greatest player of all time. There's no logical reason. 199. So you try to tell me that the league got it that wrong? No. That dude said, here's who I am right now, but I promise you they ain't gonna be who I am tomorrow. And he said that every day. And he did it.
Thanks.
He did it. He's the blueprint.
Yeah.
He's the blueprint of hard work. Go ahead.
And that's what I say about these kids today, with this, transfer rule. Of course, some things are good, some things bad. We always debate on the transfer portal, the good things and bad things about it. But that's what made Brady who he is, or the legend, the GOAT. He said, you know what? Y'all can put me behind Bledsoe. Y'all can draft me 190. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to play with this chip on this shoulder, this fire in my heart, in my gut. And I'm going to gut the league for 20 years or how many years he played. And he did it. And a lot of, I think people don't understand it. When I grew up and when we grew up, we called that dog in you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
A lot of kids don't have that dog in you. And Brady showed you he had the dog in him. And so, man, that's what I remember is that GOAT. I agree with you, bro.
Can dogs be taught?
It can be. It can be pushed out of you. But if you are given something all the time without working at it, I don't, sometimes the dog is in you. Like you got a Kobe and a Michael and a LeBron. And I think some of them instinctively have dog in them and want to be great. But some kids have to be pushed, or some kids, they may just don't have it if you don't pull it out of them. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
This guy got so mad that the league accused him of cheating that he ran 17 in a row. Don't piss this guy off.
Yeah, man.
Who did that? I know Michael Jordan used to do that same thing when he used to find something to push him. And some of the great players do that. Kobe did it.
Reggie, you hit it right on the point. It's them. The drive is nothing other than greatness,
right?
Because when the drive's money or success or fame or whatever it is, a lot of these guys get that on day one.
Tiger Woods.
And by the way, Cam, he ran 18 straight.
18. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you went.
I'm just saying. I want to be accurate on my first show.
Well, let me like you've been saying today. Let me go a step further. It wasn't 19.
Wow. Yeah, man. Tom Brady, man. I consider him the GOAT. GOAT quarterback, man, because he did it.
You went to Michigan.
Did I interrupt you when you was talking? No, I didn't.
Probably.
No, I did not. No, I didn't. No, I'm
Go
just
ahead,
saying.
man.
I'm just saying. He on his side now. Man. I'm just saying he is GOAT, man. He I don't know if I'm gonna say it. He made Belichick, be considered the best coach because he had Tom Brady. Can I finish? As far as his drive to win, he wasn't in that Spygate stuff. He wasn't in that Spygate stuff. He wasn't deflating footballs and stuff like that. That came from the top, man.
So did he know about it?
I don't know if he knew about it or not.
Oh, now you don't know.
I don't. I'm just saying. He
his ass before he walk out the door.
Come on, man.
He is the GOAT. He came from a prestigious university, Michigan.
He won a championship though, didn't he?
Huh? Say it again.
No.
Okay, thank you. I always remember him. Being that dog, like y'all saying, being able to sometimes success is a drug, and sometimes you want to be able to just strive to be the greatest, and he was the greatest. He is the greatest, and I don't think anybody else is gonna do what Tom Brady had done.
So biased.
You know what impresses me the most, and why I consider Tom Brady the GOAT? He was drafted 199th, right?
Mm-hmm.
He won he started 316 of 318 games as the 199th pick.
Do he have any receivers other than Randy Moss that's in the Hall of Fame? Or is going to be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Gronk, if you want to call him a receiver.
That's badass there, boy.
What's that little short fella that was
Wes Walker?
Wes Walker.
No, Edelman. Edelman's got a better resume than Walker.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Edelman will be there.
You think Walker get in before Edelman?
Edelman will get in.
Edelman numbers
You don't think so?
Not by his numbers.
He'll get in eventually.
You think Walker get in?
No.
I just figure it just in my mind, it's like at the end of every reception was Edelman.
Facts.
That's true. I mean, listen, when they're with him, they're wonderful. It's just when they break up, it's the breakup hadn't been great for anybody.
But he's first in so many stats, but that one there impresses me.
Can I ask the question? Then we got to move on because we still got some questions. How do you draft a Tom Brady? Is that possible?
Well, I think the Patriots think they just did again.
Did they? Think about what you drafted. When you drafted Tom Brady, what do you draft? You drafting a pure leader, the hardest worker in the building, somebody who sold out to the game completely, somebody who is going to study like never. He wins a lot of those games before he ever steps on the field that Sunday.
You know what that's called, Lord? Human error. The scouts got it wrong. They got it wrong.
You think they got it that wrong already?
Well, they get a lot of stuff wrong.
That's pretty damn wrong.
No, because you could be that smart and that dedicated and that have that work ethic and have all those things that you just talked about and still not be able to throw a ball, right? And still not be tall enough to see over an offensive line and still not be fast enough to be able to get away from the rush or, whatever it is. So, I mean, Tom Brady, you also have to remember, and it's a whole nother conversation, right? Who's better and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Tom Brady he also had the greatest head coach of all time, right? Behind him. And that coach had his system in place, and that coach had a defense in place.
Absolutely.
And he learned behind Bledsoe for a certain period of time before he had to play, right? And then he was in a containment offense, right? When that defense won them, their first couple of Super Bowls. So, I mean, he was also in a great position to be successful where all those skills applied got magnified, right? And then he had his coach. So
it reminds me, I heard somebody preach about 7 to 8 years ago and he said chance, and I forgot what it was.
Stop
And
it.
it comes together,
Stop
and
it,
it
Reggie.
what was it? Chance, and what was the other one?
An opportunity.
Chance and opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Just come together. It was Pastor Lord Spencer said,
That's right.
come together, and it's and that's what happened. And I agree with Jesse. I just believe those teams, Belichick and Brady, Belichick was chance, Brady was opportunity, or vice versa, and it was just perfect marriage. And
yeah, he had a great coach and a great GM, huh?
At the same time, I think that's a perfect lead in to question number 2, and I'll start with Brad's question since we're there already. Could Joe Burrow be the next Tom Brady?
No, stop, Brad.
God.
Hey,
let my man finish the question.
I mean, Jesse, I hear you.
Get 20 years and see if they're within 80% of any of his stats, and then we can talk. Tom Brady's got more Super Bowl rings than any other NFL franchise. So, no, Joe Burrow in his second year.
That boy likes the Patriots.
But now to your point, Jesse, the guy's in his second year and he's in a Super Bowl.
The only thing that matters there is that for years, I've heard this argument that a college team can't beat an NFL team, right? Doesn't matter if it's Alabama on their best day against Jacksonville on their worst day. There's no way Alabama wins that game, right? Well, Cincinnati just proved that fucking wrong.
Turns out that was wrong. Turns out that hey, the lie detector said that was a lie.
hey, here's the thing with the Bengals. You squid kick, and you drop 8.
Okay, so let's get into this game just a little bit.
Did you know their punter? He went to high school in Cincinnati. He played for the Bearcats.
Yep.
He's played for the Bengals for 13 years, and now he's in a Super Bowl with his hometown.
Dang, talk about never paying for another meal.
Oh yeah,
no.
Right?
Can we dive deeper into this game? How did? Or I won't even say it that way. I'll say it this way. How the hell is Cincinnati doing this? Like I'm no shade at all. I just don't understand how you had 2 totally different halves of football. How in the first half, Reggie and I are texting each other saying, listen, man, I'm ready to go do some work in my office. Oh, okay. I'm going to take my daughter out and do some things. Because you're looking at this thing and it looks like it's over. Yeah. And then in the second half, it's like, I'm stunned. And they did it 3 times in a row. Go ahead, Al.
But here's my answer. And you might find it in the question. Did they change anything they were doing?
No.
I think they
Cincinnati stuck to their game plan. Cincinnati did Cincinnati, and they persevered.
And here's what they did. Here's what happened also, Al. I know we talk about it all the time. We talk about the word, the big MO, the momentum. I think the end of that second half, when Kansas City did not kick that field goal, and they stopped what's the little running back or slash
Tyreek Hill.
And they stopped him because you heard the defensive players after the game saying they gave him so much confidence that play. And I believe, now I'm not saying that's the whole game.
That's fascinating to me.
It said the momentum came. They believed a little bit more. They rallied at halftime with each other. That's part of it. I'm not saying that's the whole thing.
You're saying Rocky hit Drago in the mouth, made him bleed, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, he does bleed. He's just a man.
Exactly. He does bleed. He does bleed. Exactly.
Wow. Listen, and that's what. And honestly, Reggie, I can't argue with you because that's what it looked like. That one play, Cincinnati came back, and you like, where has this been the whole game?
And we go back to that play. Did y'all hear Andy Reid about that play since we're talking about the game? They said he wanted to kick the field goal, and Mahomes talked him out of it going to go one more play.
He did.
Mahomes thought he had a timeout, too.
Well, hey, Chris Webber thought he had one, too.
This is a classic case of a team that got too cute.
That's cold-blooded.
Hey, That Michigan fan didn't hear that, did he?
Right. No, he didn't. He didn't hear it.
I said Chris Webber thought he had a timeout too.
That's cute. That's cute. That's cute.
Hey,
That's cute.
I don't like that when you talk about Chris Webber, because you know who was telling him to call the timeout on the sideline?
Rob Pelinka, wasn't it?
Rob Pelinka.
Yeah.
And with the roster he done put together now, I'm
Rob need a timeout.
Yeah. I think Cincinnati was not scared of Kansas City, and they knew they could beat them because they beat them before. And like you said, the confidence in that MO, and they're a good second half team. I mean,
I'm not buying none of that stuff.
That's fine.
Kansas City lost the game. I don't care what you say. This defense was giving up stuff left and right. Their offense couldn't move the ball no more. They got too cute. They was relying on the pass. They forgot about the run. It was just classic stupidity stuff. I put it on Andy Reid. This starts with you, Eric Bieniemy, doing these dumb plays. It's like the formula is there to win the game.
Did you say
Philadelphia Andy Reid? Hold on.
Did you say Philadelphia Andy Reid?
Oh man, the savagery.
You run the ball and you play defense.
But they did run the ball in the second half.
Say this here, man. Listen, let me tell you something.
They tried.
Just like every game that we have seen, they come down to it. It hadn't been the team that won that they make these great plays. It's been the stupidity of the defense. Think about it. Look at every one of those games outside of the Cowboys game with Dak. It's been the stupidity of the defense. How do you let Cooper Kupp get behind the defense? How do you let Tariq Hill be man to man?
Because you run a slot blitz.
Stupidity of the defense.
I'm gonna say this. What was interesting to me is how now we say there were no changes, but the truth of the matter is defensively, Cincinnati said we gonna drop 8. Good luck. And for some reason, Mahomes all of a sudden got good.
I didn't see that drop 8 to the last.
To the last at the end.
Well. Let me say this. Let me say it this way: we're gonna make you think we're dropping 8, and then we actually are gonna drop 8 as the game go on. He saw shadows out there because he did not pull the trigger on a lot of those plays in the third. They kept bringing pressure, and he's running around, and he's like, no, it's not there. But then when you go back and watch the film, I guess it was Troy. Who was showing the game? I can't remember who was showing the game. Was that Troy?
It was Troy.
That was Troy. Now they're showing moments where he was open, or they were open. Not Troy. That was Romo showing that moment where they were open. Some of the same routes that he was hitting in the first half. So either they were dropping 8 or they were dropping the shadows of 8, but he believed that he saw 8. And he stopped.
They hit him a couple of times early, and he really didn't. Do you think they got to him a little bit when they hit him a couple of times early?
See, that's hard for me to buy, Reds, because they hit him.
It's just a question.
No, I'm not saying
you're wrong. Stat on how many times they hit him, but I know they didn't have any sacks, right?
Well,
am I wrong?
Yeah, they had some sacks. They had some sacks toward the end.
I didn't think so.
But the thing that trips me out about what you're saying is that that's the same team that hit him the last time. So it's not like you don't know what it's like to be hit by these guys. So
I know he was under a lot of pressure.
He had 4 sacks. He got him 4 times.
They got him 4 times. That's what okay. I don't know. Jesse got the receipts. Jesse, tell us what happened.
I just I want to make sure we're not missing the forest through the trees here, right?
Okay.
It's a weak AFC. Would anybody have been surprised in Week 17 if we said the Colts made it to the Super Bowl?
Not at all.
But they didn't make the playoffs.
Not at all.
It's a weak AFC, and the kicker on the weakness in the AFC is that when you look at the strengths, it's Buffalo can put up 55 points. Kansas City can put up 55 points. Cincinnati can put up 55 points. If you get hot in a half, in a game, in 3 games, right? Like that offense can win games for you, right? And I think that's just what happened. I mean, Cincinnati ended up coming out of a bad conference, and it's because they could score a lot of points like a lot of other teams could, but they put them up at the right times, and here they are.
Yeah, what surprised me is Joe Burrow only had 1 sack after his offensive line gave up 9 sacks before.
Before, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chad, it'll be there for the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're gonna.
I was surprised he went 30 of 39. That's what surprised me.
Hey man, it's something about. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not calling this kid great yet, but it's something about this kid. This kid's a winner, man.
He's a winner. That's
He's
what you. That's the one thing you can say about him right now. Now I don't know about the other stuff, but you can. No, come on now, Cam. He's a winner.
I mean, we talking about right now, as of now. Like as of now, the kid's a winner.
Let's go back to college then.
You want to talk about winners?
Oh, here we go.
Let's take it back.
Let's talk about winners.
I'm just saying, I got a 70% winner about to hit the free agent market, or about to hit the trade market.
Who? Jimmy Garoppolo?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Who,
That's
Jimmy
where we are.
Garoppolo?
That's where we are now.
Who? Jimmy Garoppolo?
He's gonna wind up in New York. Watch.
Well, before we get to the
I'd be
specifics
so
of that
I
winner,
would be so happy.
before we get to the specifics of that winner, let's talk about the actual game. What were your thoughts?
Wait. Can I say something back? One more thing. Can I close out that AFC?
Close it out.
He right. The AFC is weak because
Is it?
Well, hold on. Tennessee shouldn't have been the number 1 seed. First of all, that was just sucked for me, and that's why they got beat like they got beat. That's why Cincinnati beat them. And if you want to go back to Joe Burrow, it's just all the dominoes are falling for this guy in the right place, man. Because like he done came back and they just wasn't supposed to be here, man. Like I'm just saying, it happens. You get hot.
Hey, wait a minute. Sometimes the dominoes got to fall for you.
Right.
Right.
That's
Sometimes the dominoes got to fall.
Hey, listen, the only reason Cincinnati's in the Super Bowl is because Brian Flores wouldn't throw games.
But let's be honest. You remember what when a team is hot, what we all agree on is when a team is hot and they're rolling, that MO is just going. It's just going.
Reggie, I don't agree with that no more because the Colts were rolling and we got beat twice by Jacksonville and the Raiders.
Stop rolling because we did dumb stuff. Our team was rolling. Our quarterback was flipping. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
Running back was definitely rolling.
Running back rolling. But to go back, I'm gonna give Cam some credit. I do think Kansas City got a little too cute at the end. Like you think about. I know we got to move on, Lloyd. Mahomes, what he did at the end. Throw the ball away, Mahomes. Why are you running around trying to make plays? Throw it away.
He did that 2 or 3 times, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the dude started seeing ghosts, and I'm like, bro, some of them same plays are still there. Why are you not hitting us? I don't know.
Hey, and speaking of Jimmy G, if Jimmy G have one good drive, Patrick Mahomes don't even have a Super Bowl on his resume.
Well, okay, so now we're here. Let's deal with this. And it's actually I'm gonna combine questions 3 and 4 because then I blame Jesse for all of this. The Rams are the best team. Are they the best team left? What did San Francisco do wrong? And is Jimmy G a fraud? You can start wherever you want.
That's a whole lot. I don't think it's what the Rams did wrong. I think it's what
49ers did wrong.
49ers did wrong. I think the Rams said, okay, we're going to take Debo out of the equation. Now figure out a way to beat us because we damn sure confident that Jimmy G ain't going to beat us. So we're going to shut down Debo and then let y'all try to figure something else out. So I think it was more the Rams removing Samuels from the equation than it was the 49ers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that also answers is Jimmy G a fraud? Of course.
Right.
But I said
was he a fraud
in the very beginning of the NFL season that Trey Lance was their guy. He proved it in the little bit of time that he played in preseason.
So my question to you is, all of you, because I kind of threw that question in there, or we threw that question in there kind of as a trick question. Was that what San Francisco did wrong? Instead of spending a season grooming a guy who you know what he is, Why not spend that same season and groom a guy who you think you know what he is?
Because that guy's a winner.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think
Yes,
Jimmy G,
he's a winner. Yes.
I don't think Jimmy G is a fraud. I just think Jimmy G is gonna it's just like Stafford. Stafford gonna throw one of them interceptions. Jimmy G is gonna do it. Majority of the game, he didn't play bad until the fourth quarter. Let's be honest. Can you name the 3 quarters he played? The first 3 quarters, they were in the lead almost 14 points before.
Are you talking about the fourth quarter where he threw a touchdown to put them up by 10?
That's what I'm saying. He didn't play
that's
bad.
on the defense.
Yeah. I'm saying that Jimmy G is not a bad quarterback.
He's not.
Spoken like 2 Colts fans who want to get rid of Carson Wentz.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay, here we go. I got it, Reggie. I got it from here.
Hey, don't do it.
Hey,
don't
Lord.
do it, Cam. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Jimmy G and Daniel Jones.
I will. What is Jimmy G stats in that San Francisco game? I'm in that Rams game. I would love to see his stats.
Put it up, Jesse.
I mean, we can pull it up real quick.
Hey, why y'all pull it up? Jimmy G gave his team a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Did you say Jimmy G stats?
Yes.
Yes.
He was like barely over 50% passing.
No. What was the numbers though? You can't go by that.
It was like 16 of 30 and 259 yards.
That is good. What's wrong with that?
232.
Stop it. Stop it.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Let me bring it home then. Let me bring it home.
The only interception was that one late.
Right.
Okay. Hey, guys. Now one of you, Jesse, Lloyd, Chad, both of you guys at the bottom. And if Tart get the interception, ain't nobody talking about Jimmy G right now.
That's not true.
But if Ramsey gets the interception, the one he dropped, we still having the conversation.
Hey, it's very true. If he get that interception, the game is over with.
Let me tell you why that's not true.
No, don't do this.
No. I'm just going. You asked the question. Do you not want to answer?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was a rhetorical question.
It was a rhetorical question. I got you. Here's the reason why it's not true. Right now, according to his agents, Jimmy G said is working with San Francisco to go to a winner. Name the winner that's going to give up what San Francisco is going to ask for.
No. The exact quote I heard was he wants to go play for a team that wants to win.
I mean, don't they all want to win?
All 32 teams?
No,
not Miami.
Not
Miami.
They paying
not Miami.
Okay.
31 teams.
Hey, that lets you know he ain't gonna be back with San Francisco saying that about them because he's pretty much saying they don't want to win.
Well, they were saying that he was going to be gone anyway on the telecast.
But my point is, who's going to give up significant stuff for him? What did he do in these playoffs that makes somebody want to take it?
The Giants.
No, we're not going to do that.
They're doing everything else. I'm just saying, they're doing everything else.
I mean, hey.
I'm going to agree to disagree with every one of you guys on that panel that's saying that. If Tart get that interception, this game is sealed.
Somebody said
I don't agree with that.
If I was Deshaun Watson's representatives, I'd be saying y'all need to trade me to the 49ers.
No, they're not. They got a quarterback.
I don't care what they got. If you can get Deshaun Watson, you do that.
They're not gonna get. They don't want Deshaun. Not saying that something's wrong with Deshaun, but because Houston's asking for your first wife, 5 picks.
True. I get that.
They're not gonna give up all that.
Okay.
With a quarter.
Hey, if you can pull off a Matthew Stafford deal, you get it done.
Right.
You could flip Trey Lance for something else.
But see what I'm saying? San Francisco is grooming that what's the kid's name? They're grooming that kid. That's who they want as their quarterback.
Yeah, but if you want somebody right now, Deshaun Watson is right now. You could flip Trey Lance to something else.
I don't think San Francisco gonna want to touch no other quarterback.
Hey man,
unless he's a backup.
Hey, outside of Aaron Rodgers, I don't see where grooming has won anything in this league.
I'm just saying.
Say that one more time.
Outside of Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I don't see where grooming anybody. Listen, they didn't even groom Tom Brady. Injury happened. Tom Brady, you in. Let's make it happen. Outside of Aaron Rodgers, grooming a quarterback, that ain't won you nothing.
excuse me. Let me correct myself. Not grooming. That's their quarterback. Trey Lance is their quarterback.
I mean,
he ain't grooming.
Unless you get a Deshaun Watson.
They're not going to listen to what I'm saying. If you got Trey Lance, they're not finna give up the house and everything else for Deshaun.
They already gave up the house for Trey Lance. They moved up in the draft to get him. Why they had
They
Jimmy G.
did.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
So you prove my point. They're not going to give up nothing. They don't have much. So why would they give up anything?
I agree with Brad.
Hey Reggie. So if Aaron Rodgers say I want to go to San Francisco, they're not going to give it up. I can't hear you.
They're not.
Oh, come on. I can't even get on board.
Hey, man, next question, man. Next question. My quarterback.
Well, I bet you Al, isn't that what you just said about Trey Lance? Isn't that what you just said?
I've been saying it for 18, 19 weeks now.
And I guess
He has not proven nothing. Didn't even play the year before. There is nothing proven. You can say he better than Jimmy G. Okay, fine, say that. But that don't win you the Super Bowl. That don't even get you to the playoffs to say that he's better than Jimmy G.
Yeah, the numbers he put up in preseason were comparable to what Jones did in preseason.
But you assuming though, Al. You talking about somebody that's never played at the level. You assuming.
No. I'm not assuming. I'm saying the numbers that Trey Lance put up in preseason were equivalent to the numbers that Jones put up in preseason.
I'm saying is the 49ers feel like they're close.
Was able to step up. Why not give Trey Lance that?
Hey, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mac Jones.
So
if San Francisco take the quarterback out of play, is San Francisco good? Take the quarterback out of play.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
If you got Deshaun Watson, they not in the Super Bowl.
Man,
but that's not without. Well, they could have been there without him. So yeah.
If you can get Deshaun, you do whatever you can take to get him. Straight up.
I don't know.
Hey, man. Hey, the Rams just gave you the blueprint, bro.
Okay, but let me take the argument. Let me answer. Let me answer.
Hold on.
No.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me answer your question right now.
You can't answer my question.
This is the best way to answer your question about what you just asked. Because you asked a really good question. Aren't you willing to do what you're supposed to do to get a winner? My franchise looked the winner in the eye. A guy who took a 1-7 franchise and almost made the playoffs with him and said, let's go get a guy who's never had a head coaching job in his life.
Were they 1-7?
They were 1-7.
Who they beat?
No. Miami was 1-7.
Who they win with that one game?
What difference does it make? They were
1-7. Ask me a question, man.
So that means New York Giants will not have a black quarterback.
I believe the 49ers saying if we're this close to the Super Bowl, they can get there with Trey Lance. That's what I think they're saying.
That's what they're gonna say.
That's what they're gonna say, but
you're gonna look like a fool.
I'm just telling you what
possible too. That's possible too. But I'm just
okay.
I'm just saying franchises do it all the time. My point was franchises do dumb shit all the time.
Okay, Lord. So is Jimmy G the same as Jared Goff? Okay,
without looking at the coach's girlfriend.
The fact that you're thinking about it, you make a move to get the quarterback that's going to win it all for you. And Deshaun Watson, is better than Matthew Stafford.
Deshaun Watson is better than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
I can't argue. I don't disagree with that.
Well,
I'm not sure anybody would disagree with that.
So if you San Francisco, if you San Francisco,
I disagree.
I would give up Trey Lance. I would give up draft picks to get Deshaun Watson.
Well, first of all,
this is a no-brainer.
This is Stafford's first year with some weapons in a good organization, and he's in the Super Bowl. So how can we say he's better than Deshaun?
And the defense.
And the defense.
Deshaun Watson put up his best numbers without his receivers, without his targets. They was all gone this last year.
But look at that defense he had.
Who? Name him. Who?
That's when the guy in Arizona? What's the guy in Arizona?
J.J. Watt.
Come on,
J.J. Watt's in that defense.
He might have played 4 games. J.J. Watt may have played 4 games that year.
Hey, boy, you need to
stop, bro.
Get out of here, Cam.
Stop, man.
You just don't want to give Stafford no
Okay,
problem.
but Cam, while you're not wrong from a talent perspective, let's talk about what we're talking about. Do franchises want the guy who just got accused of raping 23 women?
Allegedly.
Now let's just allegedly or otherwise. My franchise ain't gonna do it because my owner's an asshole, and he thinks that he ain't gonna do it because he don't want that on that stain on the franchise.
That's how he'll spin it.
That's exactly. That's my point.
You. Yes.
And that's the same thing San Francisco's gonna say. We can't have him in. He's done this, and this.
The Cowboys wanted Quincy Carter. That's the same thing.
The Cowboys will take anybody. The Cowboys will bring in a rapist from the jury, like right from the damn courtroom. Like it don't matter to them.
I hear you. Hey, Al, don't look at me like that.
What'd you say, Jesse? Wait a minute. What'd you say, Jesse?
It don't need repeating. Would you give up for what they're asking for with a man with that alleged stuff on his?
That's what we're talking about at the end of the day.
Listen, before they do all this, if they're gonna do their homework and see where we at with them, any team that make a move gonna see that, Reggie. I'm past that. If the guy can play, hold on, Reggie, if the guy can play football and they say, okay, you good, whatever, yeah, you make a move on him. Yes.
Cam, you are talking like the court of public opinion does not exist anymore.
I am not talking like
he's
that.
Already guilty. He's already guilty before he ever leaves the Houston hotel.
Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. If you can go get Aaron Rodgers, San Francisco, go get him. If you think they're that close.
But let me ask you. Let's go back to
take the Aaron Rodgers out of it. You're right.
You say Raekwon. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Look what they're asking for, Cam. That's what I don't think you understand.
Take Deshaun Watson out of the situation, then, bro. Go. The thing is, if you think Jimmy G is like that, I'm saying go get the quarterback.
You're saying go upgrade to somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Go get the one. Go get Matthew Stafford then. If that's what you're saying, yeah.
Help me understand it again now, Cam.
You paid a hell of a price. You paid a hell of a price for Trey Lance to give him up this fast.
And you paid a hell of a price for Matthew Stafford to be in the Super Bowl right now. You do it.
Hey, by the way, I'm just saying we're seeing Stafford. Stafford finally has a team that he's been stuck in a hole for 12 years. He finally has a team, and this kid is going to the Super Bowl because he's playing. We're talking about momentum. Stafford is playing with momentum right now.
Hey, give Aaron Rodgers another receiver and see what he'll do too.
Oh, there you go. Boy.
Hey, listen, take it easy on Stafford. Take it easy on Stafford.
Thank you.
He had a winning record and made it to the playoffs, and then they fired his black head coach. They brought in this guy from the Patriots,
and it was horrible.
He was. Oh my God, it's a nightmare.
Let's give Stafford a little break.
Listen, I'm not. All I'm saying is, if you think, I'm saying, please do not think. Please, hey, hold on, wait.
Christina brought all of it. She brought all of it to you.
Wow.
She said, "How much do you want? I'm bringing it all to you."
Wow.
If they putting money in my bank account, I have somebody watching them too. You hear me? That's the real truth, Christina.
Oh wow.
Hey, and Raekwon, to answer your question, it's good to see you back since the Cowboys was in the playoffs, man. You was missing that shit for 2 weeks. Good to see you, man.
What are you talking about, Cam? We got a chance to win this week.
Oh man, don't do that, Al. I'm throwing stop, man. Hey, Garoppolo is trash. Whatever you want to say, that's fine. Okay. You're not going to win with him. What I am saying is, Garoppolo put his team in a position to win the game. He had them up by 10 points with 8 minutes to play in the football game to go to the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
guess what? The rest of that game, Lord, guess what I'm doing?
What's that?
Cooper Kupp will never see one-on-one ever again the rest of that game. I'm going to double team him every play.
All right. Final question, because we done kind of ran out of time. NBA All-Stars announced. There they are. Any problem? Any problems?
Why is Wiggins in the starting lineup?
Should have been Luka.
So we just gonna start right off the top. We just go.
Wow. Why is there no spares in the lineup?
Right, because that boy Murray should be somewhere around there.
In the lineup, in the starting lineup, Spurs?
Not the starting lineup. Murray's
those are just the starters.
Yeah, he's just the starters.
First of all, I don't think the captains are going to play.
They're not playing.
Injuries.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think
injuries
either
going
one's
to
going
keep
to play.
them.
Well,
Yeah, I
first
think
of
either
all,
one's gonna play.
that's not how we should start off. First of all, we should shout out to the MVP of the league up there on top of that list up there on the top up there.
Who was that?
Oh, come on, man. Y'all know who the MVP is over there. Shoot.
Steph Curry.
I'm listening. Who is it?
John Morant. That's who the MVP is.
I can't argue there, but you know,
In the conversation.
I can't argue with that, but you know, politics is going to give it to Steph before they give it to John.
But see, I don't like.
Steph is not putting it up like that though.
It's a popularity contest in the beginning.
It is.
The MVP?
No,
Just All-Star.
Oh, I was talking about the MVP of the league. I'm sorry, guys.
But Reggie, Andrew Wiggins is popular.
I don't get it.
But somebody, hey, who did he pay to get that in that starting five?
Listen,
Hey,
maybe
man.
he got them. Maybe he got them bots that'll just vote.
No, it's right.
I tell you who he
They
paid.
saying that
He paid Hugh
if
Jackson.
nobody was hurt. They said if nobody was hurt, that would be Klay Thomas. That's what they say.
Them Warrior fans be
Somebody hurt.
voting, man. The Warrior fans be voting, man. And
So they decided, instead of sending their support to Steph and making him the captain, they decided to send their support to Andrew Wiggins and put him on the starting lineup.
I don't get it either.
Hold on, can you show that lineup again?
Oh my
Can
God.
you show that lineup? So I'm looking at nobody on Phoenix team is not.
Well, that was where I was going,
Yeah.
Reggie.
And they the best team in the league.
Reggie, that's where I was going. How is there no Phoenix player on there? How is Devin Booker or Chris Paul not on the starting lineup? I don't get that.
Who are you gonna put him in front of other than Wiggins?
Right, that's what I'm
Wiggins,
saying.
yeah, I would put him in front of Wiggins.
Yeah, that's
I don't know about that, man. I'm shocked.
Shit,
So who
in front of LeBron?
So who replaces LeBron and who replaces KD?
Well, it'll be.
Wait. Al, what you say about LeBron?
I put Booker or Chris Paul in front of LeBron.
Hey, Al, I just want to let you know that you can pull up anybody on that panel. You pull their stats up, they're not better than LeBron's.
Hey,
but they played more games.
So what? They're not better than LeBron.
But they played more games.
Their stats are not better than LeBron's.
Can I say something that you ain't gonna like, Kill?
Nope, don't do it right now. Do it after the show.
No, do it right now. I want to hear this.
I think I agree.
Mm.
And
do your hat say 100 or 90%? What is
it says 100. I'm keeping it. It says keep it 100. I'm keeping it 100. And in your heart, you agree too.
No, I don't.
You have to, Cam. Has LeBron played? And by the way, he is a victim of his own standards. Has LeBron played? I ain't forget his numbers. Put your phone down. We're talking about the numbers. We're talking about what he's done. Has he played to the level of his standard of all-star?
Yes.
Yes.
Look at his numbers. What are you talking? What? Tell me what he has not done.
Okay, you want to look at numbers?
No, I don't. No.
We want to look at numbers.
Hey, Lloyd,
We're
you're right.
looking at numbers now.
You're right, Lloyd. I want you to tell me what he has not done.
No. There's only really one number that I want to look at. Well, two, really. Two. The first one is 24 and 27.
All right.
That's the first one. The second one is 17 and a half games out of first.
Okay.
That's all. Any other player that
was
putting
all-star
up
game.
Hold on. Any other player that was putting up the personal numbers that he was putting up, but his team was performing where his team was performing, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Can you put that list back up again?
Am I wrong?
Put the list back up. So you're telling me every one of those guys have had a better season than LeBron's? What you telling me? Not the team, the player. You telling me all those players have had a better season than LeBron? Not the team.
No, not individually. No, I completely agree with you. But that was not the point. But you heard me make this point. You're trying to change the narrative. My point was any other player that was putting up the numbers that he's putting with their team performing the way that they are, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Not only they would barely be making the All-Star team.
Is that right, Lloyd?
So ain't that the same as Westbrook winning the MVP because he had triple doubles?
I agree. I don't disagree with that. But you're trying to get an argument out of me on something I agree with. Go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead, Jesse. Because Jesse got receipts. I like the receipts.
No, because I'm about to say something stupid and end up defending LeBron here. Listen, I mean, 29 points a game, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's played the same amount of games as Kevin Durant. He's played 2 less than Joel Embiid, so it's not a games played situation, right? He's averaging 37 minutes a game, so it's not a minute situation, right? His record is what it is because how many games has AD been on the floor, right? Denver just barely got above 500 last week, and Atlanta's got the same record as the Lakers do. And you got Trae Young and you got Joker on the All-Star team.
Well, let me be clear. I don't think Trae Young should be on here either.
Oh, come on, Lloyd. You got to quit this.
Come on,
you got
man.
to stop. Lloyd, you got to relax, man.
Are you trying to tell me that Trae Young deserves to be on this list more than Zach LaVine?
No.
Yeah, I'm saying it. Yeah.
Come on, man. Listen,
you want me to pull those numbers up too?
Let me call the church to a close. May the Lord watch between me and thee. What is
Chris Paul does. He's leading the league in assists right now.
He's
not on that list. Chris Paul should be there.
They're the number 1 team in the West.
You should be there.
Okay,
he should be there.
Okay,
Chris Paul should have LeBron's spot.
That has nothing to do with LeBron.
I disagree with your Lord.
He should have
I think Chris Paul should have Wiggins' spot.
Yeah, come on, man, stop.
Either one. I'll take either one. Well, only reason I say LeBron because man, look at where they are.
Hey, can I ask you another question, then, Lord? Can you put the list back up one more time? Because if you're talking that, I want to put the list back up one more time. Anybody on this list that's outside of a point guard, center, tell me who got more points, rebounds, and assists than LeBron do. Who averaged more on this list right here?
Just 2 of them.
Say, you got to relax, Lloyd. We're not talking about team. We're talking about the individual. That's what the All-Star game is, an individual thing. Ain't nobody on this panel putting up the numbers at LeBron. For you to say that he don't deserve to be on the All because of what the team is doing?
I said he don't deserve to be a starter.
Come on, man. So do Joker deserve it?
He single-handedly got his team in the playoffs.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question. This is totally off the subject. Did we get away from positioning all-star votes and now it's just the best 5?
The way they say it now is backcourt, front court. So whatever that is. I don't like that, but that's what we are.
Come on, can we get some positions up in here? Because you can have 5 power forwards up in this camp.
Yeah, but hey, Lord, hey, Reggie. The problem is those power forwards back in the day, they probably was point guards. I mean, Anthony Davis was a point guard in high school, so that's why you got to go to that. These boys play multiple positions, man.
Yeah. But I mean, but they're labeled in game situation when they're in the lineup. They're considered a certain position.
Yeah,
because Anthony Davis is considered what, a power forward?
No, he's a hurt animal.
IR power forward.
Who's more part time? Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving?
Wow, man.
Who? What? Anthony Davis or who?
I said who's more part time? Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving?
Oh man.
Cam, IR power forward.
Golly.
I'm just asking questions.
It's either between Anthony Davis or Saquon Barkley. Take your pick.
Saquon, first of all, I'm not gonna let you insult Anthony Davis like that because Saquon, I'm not sure he's part time.
Lord, hey Lord, I'm not gonna agree with you on this one. He is a all-star.
That's fine. Starter. That's fine. This is what this show is about.
But for the reason you said, Jesse just gave you the reason for everybody else on that list. Denver just got their team over 500.
Denver is in
Atlanta
6th place.
just got their team over.
Hold on. I'm talking to you and Jesse. Denver 6th place. The Gold State 2nd place.
No. Go by
John Morant 3rd place.
You didn't say nothing about what place he was in. You talked about his record. Talk about their record. What's their record?
Whose record?
What's Denver's record?
They're 28 and 22.
Come on, Lord. You act like they blowing the field away. Oh, man.
They blowing the Lakers away.
Listen, man. This is very disappointing. You hurt by something. I know it has a little bit to do with
I am hurt by something. I am hurt by something, Cam. My GM just made us look like a bunch of racists today. So I'm feeling a little sensitive, okay?
Well, your other GM sucks too, Rob Pelinka.
I know. It's not, and my men's basketball team in college sucks as well. I'm not having a good sports year.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I need counseling.
You need to have some of this Jay Novacek.
I do. Jesse, what you doing later to counsel me or something? I don't know.
LeBron, hey, man. LeBron James is putting up some of the best numbers in the entire NBA right now. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not taking that away from him.
That makes you an all-star starter, Lloyd.
My point is, if anyone else were putting up numbers like that, they would not even come close to being an all-star if their team wasn't matching up to it.
It's the all-star game. You can be in last place and have the best player.
Cam, how many times in the history of the game have we seen a guy make the all-star team with great numbers, some of the best numbers in the league, but his team was suck? He made the all-star team. He just wasn't a starter. That's my point. That's almost my only point. I don't know if he should be starting, but he's going to start. So it don't wait, and he might not even play anyway, so it don't even matter.
Let's start this over again. First of all, it's a fan vote.
Well, not singularly, but yes,
it's a fan vote. So he's going to be a starter. If you want to base it off of fan votes, did he have the number one votes again?
He did.
Okay,
he's always going to have it.
Based off of it, he's a starter. If you want to base it off his numbers, he's a starter. The only thing you cannot base it off of is his team record, and that is not what the All-Star game is. That's the fact.
It's not what the All-Star game is in relation to LeBron. It never has been.
Oh, man, you got to be kidding me, Lord.
Cam. It has never been that with LeBron. It has never
a couple of years ago, Bradley Beal was an All-Star starter. His team sucked.
Bro, Klay Thompson got 40,000 votes.
It's a fan vote. So what is your reason for saying that he shouldn't be a starter then?
Because he. Okay. I feel like you're not trying to hear me at this point. You're like you're deliberately trying not to hear what I'm saying.
You're not making sense at this point with this subject, man.
No, I'm not agreeing with you on this subject.
Tell me why he shouldn't be an all-star starter again.
My point again for the fifth time. He is, if any other player were putting up the numbers that he was putting, but their team was 11th in the West, you'd put the individual player in the All-Star game, but you wouldn't make him a starter because there's nothing about what he's doing that's translating to wins.
Okay, I will do my homework, and next week I will prove you wrong, and you will apologize.
Prove me wrong, brother. Prove me wrong.
Because the All-Star game has nothing to do with your record. Period.
It's a popularity contest.
It's like the Pro Bowl. If you put the numbers up, you're gonna be in the Pro Bowl, and your team may not even win. Your team may not even did nothing.
But in the starting five, it ain't even really about the numbers, to be honest with you. It's the fan vote.
Here's where I disprove what you just said. Is Damian Lillard more popular than Andrew Wiggins?
We all said that was wrong.
Is Damian Lillard more popular than Andrew Wiggins?
Absolutely.
Okay, then clearly this is more than just popularity. Andrew Wiggins is only here because he's on a winning team.
Okay, and
that's the only reason he's here.
Hey, can I ask you this question? Let's be real. How many of y'all gonna watch the All-Star game? I'm not.
Well, ain't no Spurs playing. You shouldn't.
Hey, even if it wasn't no Spurs playing, well, hey.
Ain't nobody watching the All-Star game. I'm about to watch it right now.
That's a hard watch.
Hey, I'm gonna watch the
It's about as many to watch the NBA on Christmas.
Yeah, they took a hit on Christmas. NBA. We never talked about that, but they took a hit.
Yeah.
They need to call the NFL and apologize for whatever they did wrong to get that double booking schedule. That was not whoever did that. That was not smart.
Yeah.
Go Christmas Eve if you think you're gonna conflict with the NBA and the NFL, but don't go head to head. That's a mistake always. So anyway.
Brian Flores that.
Yes, he's a savage. He's a subtle savage, but he's a savage. He's definitely a savage. I'm here for it. Jesse, I've appreciated having you there tonight, man. That was really amazing. Appreciate you coming.
Appreciate being here.
You're great, man.
Yeah,
You're great. Dropping them stats.
I figured blue and yellow. I cover off the Colts, the Cowboys, the Giants, the Warriors, the Wolverines, the Lakers.
Well, what did the B
I
stand
mean,
for?
let me ask you a question.
What does the B stand for?
What?
What does the B stand for?
This is a Red Sox hat. So
you rock that thing, baby.
Hey, Jesse,
Rock
let me ask you a question.
Rock that thing.
Do you really want to cover the Cowboys? I'm just saying.
What's that?
Do you really want that blue to cover the Cowboys? I'm just asking.
It's probably more appropriate blue than the blue they have today.
Yeah.
Hey, look at Al closes. Is Al praying right now?
No, he's restraining. He's restraining himself.
He's a prayer to cuss.
Hey, you guys got y'all coach. You got your coordinators. You should be good.
Y'all great, man. Y'all in a good place right now.
Yeah, because ain't
it could be worse, man.
Hold up, Al. And you got your quarterback, Al.
It could be worse. Somebody could be calling you a racist, and it could be true today, right now.
Factual.
It could always be worse, Cowboy fans. So
yeah, they could be calling Jerry Jones that already. Who knows?
Yeah, and look, and your team could be ready to sign Jimmy G like the Giants. So
stop it. You know what? This blasphemous conversation we've had today. What is everybody's final thoughts? Can we get to that?
Are we on
shout out? Yeah, we had shout outs. Let's go with Reggie first because he got a lot to shout out today. So.
Hey, man, I'm gonna give a shout out first of all to all these young men who signed scholarships today, especially. It's really great, and hey, Dion got 2 of them in the top 100, right?
I saw that, and there's still some people that ain't signed yet. So
yes, it is. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna give a special shout out to the McKinney High School who had like 8, 9 signees football. Whoever that coordinator is. Did a great job. Their recruiting coordinator there did a great job. You know, few Division 1, D2s, NAA. They got these parents got that school, that education paid for. So at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Because what's that percentage of? Since my man is throwing out stats, what's the percentage of a kid making it to the league? Probably what 0 point something, 1.1% something.
It's low. Yeah, they are. That's true.
At the end of the day, you want that education paid for. Or something that's done that you can do after you finish dribbling or passing that ball. So, hey, shout out to all these kids. That's my shout out.
All right.
Cool.
I thought you said you had a kid today that you personally.
Oh yeah, coach. Yeah. A couple of them that used to play basketball with for us about 2 or 3 years ago, but they decided to stick with football. Which
right decision. Right decision.
Mm-hmm. So, but still got up there to see them sign. So that's good.
That's what's up. All right, I want to make sure we gave him some love today. All right, who else? Who else got a shout out here today?
I'll go real quick. My shout out goes to Mike Pegues, the assistant, the interim head coach for the University of Louisville, who suspended his team captain, his 6th-year senior, for apparently behavior that's been ongoing. Even prior to his tenure. So shout out to him for having the balls even in his shaky tenure to say, you know what, I'm not going to tolerate it regardless of so my shout out goes to Mike Pegues.
Wow, that is ballsy.
Nice.
Shout out to him. All right. Anybody else got a shout out?
Man,
Go ahead, Chad.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead. Shout out to everybody that's commenting and watching. Everybody. Each week. We definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Jesse for coming on the show, dropping that knowledge and that disdain for Louisville like I have.
Bringing his coupon bag.
Appreciate you for that. And, everybody keep watching and tuning in, man. And shout out to you guys, man, for making the show what it is every week.
All right. Come on, Cam, what you got?
I'm going to go a little different. Shout out to LeBron James for being another All-Star starter.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? We represent the purple and gold. And I want to thank you for representing my team in the All-Star game. Even though we got 3 wins, you the man. Also, it's a sports thing, so I know some guys don't like the sports entertainment, but also shout out to Mr. Bobby Lashley for doing his thing at the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? They try to take it from him too, but man, shouts out to him. Shout out to Mr. Jesse Wright up there, my boy, came out here and did his thing. I appreciate you. Thank you. I told him I need you to come talk about your views on this stuff because he has some good views and good bullet points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Chad, this one for you, man. Shout out to Michigan for getting that coach back in there because I'm telling you what, look at the transfer portal. Michigan has made some moves, and it's not a bad thing that you brought Harbaugh back.
Yeah, all right.
Can I offer an addendum to that final shout out from Ken?
Absolutely.
Not only did Harbaugh go back, but Harbaugh said, "I apologize. This will not be a reoccurring issue. I'm here for as long as you want me." So, Chad, that should make you happy.
So Albie, you saying he's saying the right things,
right? I was gonna say this.
Here we go.
I don't believe none of that. But
did y'all see that breaking news?
And shout out to Brian Flores for making this thing.
Something else?
Yeah, Golden State is trading Klay Thompson for
hilarious
2 first-round picks and Ben Simmons
and Carson Wentz
and
DeJounte Murray.
All right,
and Robert Tractor Trailer.
Oh my goodness. Jesse, I know this is your first time with us, but you got any shout outs?
I do. I wrote it down a little bit. If you don't mind, I want to make sure I got this one right. My first shout out is to a guy named Eric Bachman, who published a story in Forbes magazine on January 28th that was republished by the National Law Review on Monday, right? And the title of that article, right, and that legal review that ended up getting published nationally was called, "Will the NFL be sued for race discrimination against black coaches?"
Wow.
He's a week in front of it, right?
How prophetic.
Yeah, writing on the wall. My second shout out is to you guys letting me come on. I watch the show every week. Really appreciate it. Love what you guys do and appreciate being able to be a part of it in any way. And then my last one is what I actually wrote down, and that's we talk about, well, how do you fix the problem, right? And then we talked about the disparity between the NBA and the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA and the National Basketball Coaches Association, right, led by Rick Carlisle, created the NBA Coaches Equality Initiative. They didn't want a Rooney Rule, right? So the NBA and the NBCA developed a coaches database that includes profiles of nearly 300 coaches, giving hiring executives a more comprehensive look at who's available and what they've accomplished, right? With the idea of expanding the pool of qualified candidates and then exposing those qualified candidates to the world. Rick Carlisle went on to say, and whatever you want to say about him being Dallas fans and his time coaching down there, right? This is what Rick Carlisle said, and I got a lot of respect for it. The NBCA understands and respects each organization's right to hire and fire whomever and whenever it chooses, right? And I think we all wish we lived in that world. But it's also our responsibility to point out when an organization fails to conduct a thorough and transparent search of candidates from a wide range of diverse backgrounds, right? Words, plans, hopes, empty promises, they're not enough anymore. And then he went on to speak about putting those words into action using empirical data. He goes, data is something that's a regular part of our team meetings, of our board of governors meetings now, not just in the coaching ranks, but across the league, and making sure teams are focused on it. And that's what we're also working collectively to develop those pools of future candidates, right? So yeah, I think there are other options out there for the NFL. I mean, obviously there are fundamental changes. I think everybody's right. It does start at the ownership level, right? But and at the player level, but for accountability, I mean, this stuff's only going to stand as long as people continue to allow it, right? Yeah. Shout out to diversity. If you guys want more stats, go look at what diversity does for any company in the world.
Yeah.
Right. And what having a diverse environment. We talked about, well, I wish we could just talk about resumes. I wish we'd focus on diversity, not as a KPI, key performance indicator on, how well we're doing from some type of government standard in order to, whether or not we're going to get penalized with taxes. I wish diversity was focused on as a strength. Right. Diversity is not just race, and it's not just gender, and it's not just sexual identity, and it's not just, it's age, it's experience, it's where you went to school, it's who you hang out with. I mean, diversity is how you avoid groupthink, right?
Yeah.
And diversity is how you grow and expand and overexpose everybody to new ideas, which continues to prompt new thought, right? And continues this perpetual opportunity for growth. Yes. And, so I think the sooner we start focusing on diversity as a strength rather than some type of metric we need to hit, the better we'll all be. And then shout out to Brian Flores. I mean, when you do something like what he did and you're not doing it from a position of power or safety, it takes a lot of courage. So right, wrong, or indifferent, or whatever happens, I got a lot of respect for that.
Well, you took exactly the words right out of my mouth, because that's where I was headed. My one and only shout out tonight is to Brian Flores, and I'll just say it from an even more personal standpoint. I don't think you are any good at your job if no one can ever tell you how wrong you are at what you did. If you always think you got it together, and you always think you're right, and you never make mistakes, and then you're probably not very good at your job. Nobody can tell you. And I think that, and I'm speaking specifically to the franchise that I have supported for 30 plus years, they were wrong. And more specifically, Mr. Marr and Mr. Tisch were wrong, because they knew what they wanted. They knew what it was time for. And yet you let this guy talk you out of it. Now, he may be right. He may be 1,000% correct. Brian Daboll might be exactly what we need. But we'll never know. And that's the sad part about it. Because you had the chance to do what was right, and you chose to do what was easy. That's sad to me. Mm-hmm. So Cam floated something out earlier in the show. That he was joking when he did it, but I'll be honest with you, I've been thinking about it all day. Do I still, am I still supposed to be a fan of somebody that's afraid to do what's right? Can we do that? Made me think today. Got me thinking right now. So
they're counting on the fact that you will.
I know they are, but that's not. But they don't know. I'm built different. I will walk away from it if I feel like this is just wrong, man. There's nothing right about this, and I don't know how I'm supposed to. I'm really questioning my fandom right now, because I don't know how I'm supposed to go forward like this. So I'm upset, not because I didn't get my guy, but because of the reasons why I didn't get my guy. So shout out to you, Brian, for making us look at ourselves. Hopefully from top to bottom, that's what we're doing today. We'll see.
Well, Lord, in closing, I want to be the first to give my sales pitch to you after this call. There's always room for you.
Not until y'all get rid of Carson Wentz. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one, man. We'll be back next week. Do it all over again. The 5, we out.
Five will get you 10 when you're plugging in with the there's no mystery. Let's make history with the 5. Oh, the 2 and 3. Add 1 more plus me and do the 5.